What is going on, everybody? How is everyone doing today? Happy Wednesday. Stream number 2 of the week, number 3 of the week on TikTok. We had a little mini stream while we were talking about the new Brunswick bowling balls that were coming out. So we've had a lot of time that you guys have seen me this week. Hopefully you're not sick of me quite yet. This is going to hopefully become a more normal thing in the next couple of weeks. So make sure to stay tuned on the channel for all the new live streams coming. But what is going on? We've had a little bit of bowling news for the week. We had 4 brand new bowling balls get announced yesterday by Brunswick Bowling. A couple of interesting ones, a couple of worry spots, but also some exciting spots. So we're going to talk about all that. As you can see in the title, I am starting a coaching program and also mainly a Patreon, not just coaching physical game, but also arsenal coaching as well. If you need some updated recs on specific tournaments, what you should do on oil patterns, situations like that. A lot of fun things we're going to talk about today. If you are new here, make sure to drop a subscription or a follow on whatever platform you're on. Best way to help out a full-time content creator like myself, because this is my only form of income now. I got my final check from my old employer today, so I am officially off the hook from that and am just full-time with you guys. So let's see who is the number one first chatter of the day. Was Johnny. Johnny with a "Hey Zach, let's go." I wanted to ask if foul line drills really work. First of all, Johnny, congratulations on being a member or a commenter number 1. Well done. Way to get to the tailgate early. Hopefully you were able to get some hot dogs while they were warm. But do I like foul drills? Not really. I don't like them because I have not seen many people be able to translate foul line drills into the full length approach, because in a game, your release, like if you just specify on that hand, it has some positives to it. If you don't know where your hand's supposed to be, it's really good, but there's a lot of body stuff that goes into it. For example, for me, one way that I've been able to get my hand more up the back of the ball, if you're a fan of the channel, you've probably seen my hand position change over the last year or so, is by actually opening my shoulders and doing a lot more shoulder and elbow work and not really hand work. So they sometimes work, but it really depends on the person. But let's see who else is hopping in. Professor Turtle Guy, what is going on? Tyran, hello. Mike, how you doing? Let's see. Jim, what's up? Bowling Bad. Kevin, Clark, Jim again. Eric, Mike, David, Jaybird, Jay Wilson, Tiger, Tolliver, Bayou Bengal, Traveling Irishman, love the name, and Jack Tran over on YouTube. What is going on to all of you beautiful people? Ryan McFarland is the number 1 person over on Facebook, and Dasher is the number 1 person over on Twitch. Congrats on 20K. Thank you so much, Dasher. Really appreciate it. Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know who wasn't with us on Monday, we officially hit 20,000 subscribers this week. Absolutely insane feat that I never thought was going to happen. So huge thank you to all of you. Now, let's see who's over on TikTok. We got Masters. I just got a Motive Lethal Venom. Nice. Art, what is going on? What was your job before? I was a software developer. More of like the manager side of software development by the end of my career. But yeah, I started out, it was very much tech-oriented, insurance company. So some very old school tech there. And now I can say whatever I want about it. Haha. Now, Chris, what's going on? Mikey, what's up? And Redneck, what's going on? That is everyone who's hopping in. Remember, we do a full Q&A in all of these live streams. This is going to be a 2-hour stream. We're usually done around 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We have a lot of fun things. We'll talk about the new bowling balls. I'll tell you what I've seen and I've been able to dig behind the scenes about these bowling balls. Let you guys know a little bit of what some of the insiders are saying. Unfortunately, none of them from Brunswick. I have one contact at Brunswick who I didn't ask about it. And also, they don't really tell me a whole lot. There was actually something kind of funny in what stream was it? I think it might have been Tuesday in Brunswick's video, the big Brunswick one with the 4 new balls that got announced. Somebody said, I emailed Motive, Storm, and Brunswick to ask you to get some equipment, and it had like 12 or 13 upvotes. So whoever you were, thank you so much out there. I'll be curious to see if they do anything. It's still odd. I would love to get like at least inside information. Like right now, we haven't really had a review come out about the Kinetic, which is disappointing. That's my number 1 ball of these new 4 ones. I should preface, 4 new bowling balls got announced. We had the Brunswick Strategy, super strong asymmetrical pearl ball. We had the Track Kinetic Sapphire Ice, very skid snappy ball just by the numbers. And then we had the Radical Revenge Solid and Revenge Pearl, very low end entry level bowling balls. So we had a lot of cool bowling balls get announced. You know, not one of the most hype sets of the year, but hype enough. And Brandon, I have a tournament this weekend on the 2025 USBC Open Singles and Doubles pattern. Play straight. Yes, play straight. Andrew, how about Storm? So Storm will probably be doing their announcements of new balls this coming Friday. It feels like we've had them for a couple of weeks now, but we haven't. They haven't actually been announced yet. So from what somebody was saying on Monday in chat, they said they'll get announced Friday and then they'll be releasing on like May 1st. And Peter over on Facebook, what's going on, man? So yeah, we have a lot of fun stuff we can hit on today. Should be a lovely stream. We're just gonna go through, do a whole lot of Q&A, and then any other extra points that I'm finding. I've been on the internet, of course, a lot this week because of the full-time content creation. I saw some interesting things going on. So we got a lot of fun things we'll be talking about today. If you guys see anything, like I changed a couple of things. So let me know if it all looks good. Excuse me, that is not working. Shoot. I was supposed to have this really cheeky sponsor logo that was going to pop up, and it isn't. Why isn't it? Hold on, copy. I'm going to show all the cool, neat sponsors of the channel. Josh with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. Oh no, Zach is poor now. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. How are you doing, man? Hope you're doing well. Where did it go? Let's just not do the background color as that. I don't know. Why you don't work? I had a really cool thing. I had a little slider with all my logos, and they would slowly pop up of all the sponsors we have. We'll have to fix that for later. Disappointing. It was working right before stream started. God, I love technology. It's so great. It's so great. Tiger Tolliver, thanks for putting the videos, and you're putting them up pretty fast with a lot of info. Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal here. Now that I'm able to do this full time, there's nothing getting in the way. Expect like any new bowling ball previews, they're going to be up within an hour of announcement. So that's going to be the goal with all new bowling balls. And then with any other info, we're going to get that stuff out really quick. That's our goal here. Still 3 videos a week on YouTube. Still going to be pumping a lot of stuff out. A lot of stuff. Let's see. Traveling Irishman, you're speed dominant and low rev. Should you get a Zero Mercy Pearl or an Ion Pro Pearl for the new strategy ball or the new strategy? The 3 balls you mentioned, I'm guessing you mean Ion Max Pearl. They're very similar. They're all 3. We know the least about the strategy. They're pretty much almost the same ball in a lot of senses. So honestly, there is really no one that's going to be better than the other. So pick your favorite. Jack, replacing my old Phase 2. Is it worth to get another Phase 2 or get something less pricey? I would still recommend the Phase 2. The 2026 ones sound like they are a little bit better than the 2025 versions. So they changed something in the cover stock probably. Every year they're just a little bit different, usually just to try to keep up with modern day conditions. So I would just keep getting a Phase 2. GB5 is close. It's going to be a touch weaker though, is what I've always seen. Remember to use those free Prime subs on Twitch. Yes, we are going to be going live on Twitch a little bit more in the next couple of weeks. I want to be able to get some video game live streams going sooner rather than later. Once I'm able to catch up on all my extra stuff, some sponsorship stuff, affiliate stuff, all that jazz. So once I do that, you're going to see some streams on Twitch for video games. So yeah, make sure to use if you have a Prime subscription, if you have Amazon Prime, you can actually get 1 free Twitch subscription per month. You can use that for ad-free viewing over on Twitch. Eric, yep, we hit. David, hello, congrats. Thank you so much, David. Marlo can finally join in the chat. Love to see you, Marlo. Welcome. Let's see. Christmas came early. I had to take the MCAs. Ooh, that's rough. I remember the MCAs. Those are fun. Back in my day. Mike, going to buy 1 ball for a league house shot. Looking at the Black Widow Tour V1 or the Phase 2 Pearl. If you want something a little more angular and you want it to, you're okay with standing a little bit deeper on the lane, Phase 2 Pearl. If you want to play a little straighter, that's where the Black Widow Tour comes in. Both are fantastic bowling balls. I recommend them both. They're great. I have both of them. I really like them both, but yeah, really whichever angle you prefer in your house shot is going to be best. Andrew, man, I miss your live streams for bowling. How's the full-time content creation going? It's going really well. It's been really fun lately. What was today? Today was a lot of cleaning. Like, my office was an absolute mess. So I had extra stuff all over the place. So I did a full clean of it. Trying to get rid of a lot of the old garbage, replace some of the new stuff. Like, I had my giant box of turbo stuff because those guys are incredible and they sent me a lot of stuff. I still had it in the box because I had nowhere to put it. So now I have all my bowling stuff put into one place, which is going to be fantastic. And then knocked out 2 YouTube videos and like 5 TikToks. So that's going to be great. So a lot of stuff. Aaron, I'm going to get the Storm concept today. That's awesome. Love it. Yeah, the concept is good. I will probably be throwing mine a lot more this weekend. So this weekend I'm bowling on a 40-foot 2-to-1 pattern. I believe it's 2-to-1. Where I assume the concept is going to come into play. So it's a year-end tournament. Year-end tournaments in the amateur scene are the absolute greatest thing ever. So if you guys didn't know, a lot of tournaments, they run monthly. And then at the end, what they do is there's a little bit of the prize fund that they save for the year-end tournament. And enough people that bowl throughout the year, like say you bowl 3 of their events, you get entered into the year-end tournament. And that usually has a little extra prize fund. Like one of the year-end tournaments I like to do, their usual winning prize is like $300, but they bump it up to at least $1,000 for their final event, which is really cool. And it's usually a little bit easier to make the cut. Like that one, I think they take top 16 guaranteed into a single elimination bracket. This weekend, they're actually cashing 1 and 2. I don't remember how many actually make the next round, though. I'm really bad with reading tournament directions or directions in general. I'm just bad at it. But always, if you do find those tournaments, I recommend bowling them a lot because they can be worth it in the long run. So always recommend. Brendan Shepard, best ball in the market right now. I think the Brunswick Alert or the Storm Bionic are #1 right now in the market. Those two balls are electric for everybody. Traveling Irishman looking for a strong pearl strategy or zero. Oh, yeah, we hit you. Johnny Berlin, when will you be in Reno? And do you have a time slot? Yes, we are bowling. Let me look at the calendar. We are bowling on May 5th and May 6th. I don't know the times. I think one of them is at 11:30. I think the other one is early afternoon. I think team is early afternoon and the other one is 11. No, wait. No, team might be 11:30. I don't remember doubles and singles. We're bowling on May 5th and 6th. I haven't looked too closely into it. I probably should. I don't even know what my team is, which is a little bit bad. So, or my cross. So that's something we got to get figured out. I'm not the runner of my team. So hopefully those guys can let us know sooner rather than later what's all going on. But yeah, May 5th and 6th. So I'll be out there, I think the 4th to the 7th, I believe. Unheard. I'm supposed to be writing my essay, but I'm watching this. Hey, that's a great choice. Do you know the prize on Arsenal coaching? Do you know the prize on the Arsenal coaching going to run? Oh, the price. Yeah. Yes, I do. So as you can see in the title, we are running coaching services soon. So I'm opening up a Patreon. If for anyone who doesn't know what Patreon is, it's another social media site where there's generally tiers that you can get certain things. So I'm going to read through those quick so that I don't mess them up. I really just made these in the last couple of days with some assistance, so I don't want to screw it up. But this is going to be another option for you guys if you guys want extra help or extra assistance in bowling in whatever way, or you just want to support a little bit more. If you want a way to be able to support the ZVL brand, this is a great way to. So let me go through the 4 tiers. There's 4 different tiers that are going to be happening. So tier #1 is the ZVL supporter tier, $3 a month. You can get early access to ball reviews and ball previews. You're going to get behind the scenes notes from video creation and ball testing that I'm doing. So I buy a lot of bowling balls. I get a lot of bowling balls. So I will be giving extra notes, more in-depth guides on what I'm seeing from these bowling balls and where they kind of fit. Patron-only abilities to recommend future content. So there's going to be the way for you guys to be able to recommend what you want more content of, and that's going to be a lot heavier in my video making process. Bonus tips and tricks, whether it be like a weekly physical game tip or a mental tip or an arsenal building tip, whatever it may be. And then supporter badge in our lovely Discord. If you're not in our Discord, it's a great place. Tier #2, you get everything from tier 1. This is called the Bowler Toolkit. You're going to get early access to my charts and graphs that I'm making. I'm working on a VLS and 2LS guide coming very soon. Arsenal Builder template, how I'm going to give you a free way to be able to see this is what an arsenal should look like. Exclusive weekly educational posts, personal recaps of equipment I'm testing and throwing, and then access to the Patreon resource library. So that's going to be, I believe that's a saved place where everything is stored. Arsenal review tier, this is $15 a month, and you get personalized gear tips. So once a month, you get a personalized Arsenal review video. You send your list of balls plus either a video of you bowling or just what your style, average, and all that is. And then I send a 5 to 10 minute breakdown looking at your arsenal, what would fit well, what fits with what you're bowling, things like that. And then finally, and you also get priority topic requests and a private Discord channel for, I spelled gear wrong, gear question. And then coaching for tournament and league prep. So for $25 a month, You get a personalized coaching video. It's going to be a 10 to 15 minute video. You send me videos of your game, what you're working on, what skill level you're at, and I can give you tips and tricks on how to get to that next level. Alongside that, tournament and league preparation notes is going to be another one that gets added along there. So you send me whatever event it is, whether it be league, whether it be a tournament, whether it be open bowling if you want, whatever it may be. And then I give you a couple of points on what I recommend. And then you send me your arsenal as well. And then I'll give you some points based on what your arsenal looks like, where things fit, some surface ideas, where are some good spots to play on the lane, things like that. So that is going to be up. It is patreon.com/ZVL bowling over in the description. So if you guys want any of that, that is up and running. So that was a little long-winded way to go through it, but if you guys have suggestions on it, I've never used Patreon, so let me know. I really don't know a whole lot about the platform. This was a lot of recommendation from people. But let's keep going into all of these lovely questions. So Mike won a mystery ball from Bowling Fool. Ooh, nice. Ended up being the new Double Trouble. Nice. I'm very curious how that ball did. Oh, Luke did end up posting the kinetic. That jerk. I didn't see it yet. All right. When was that? That must have been very recent. Right? He must be the first one who actually posted the kinetic. Let's see. Kinetic Sapphire Ice. Wow, it's already up as a recommendation. Boofa posted a video of it. Track posted their video. Brunswick posted the video. Luke did not post a video yet from what I'm seeing. Okay, interesting. Or he's just not popping up. Weird. Interesting. Traveling Irishman, congrats on the 20K and the new job. Thank you so much. Happy Wednesday. Peter, what's going on? Marlo, been checking out some Brunswick group balls. What do you recommend that is close to the low flare? There isn't much close to the low flare right now. The alert is probably the closest you're going to get, or even the anger solid. Those are going to be the two. The alert's a little too quick to be like a low flare. The anger solid is going to be a little smoother, so be ready for that. Yeah, the low flare is kind of unique. There aren't many like low diff balls like that are out there right now. That's why the alert was close, but the alert is just so quick down lane compared to the low flare. Let's see. Cheese Boy. That's a sick name. I keep hitting the pocket, but I leave the 10 pin. Should I move left or right? I recommend left. Your ball is probably coming in and just doesn't have the energy left to actually kick out the 10 pin, especially if it's that consistent. So I'd recommend moving a little bit left. But when you're leaving 10 pins, when you're leaving corner pins, you got to be ready to just move around to different spots. Bowling is a lot of guessing and testing. So guess where you think you should go. Try it out. If it doesn't work, try something else until you find something that works. Nerdy Bowler, I've got the Obsession Solid and the Widow Hybrid. What would be a good third ball? I'd recommend a symmetrical ball. You've got two asymmetrical pieces with stronger cores. I'd recommend some kind of symmetrical ball to go with it. Alert, GB5 Pearl, Stealth Mode Hybrid, things like that. Roy, I hate my Phase 2 Pearl. I need something to replace it. Oh, wow. I wonder why that is. Yeah, if you don't like that ball, you might not like much in that category. So I'd recommend staying away from the medium and sharp category. That can sometimes happen. Let's see. Johnny overate on hot dogs and hamburgers. Perfect. Good. Mike N. I'm a 55-year-old balance bowler. Jim, have a great show. Thank you, Jim. Sabrina, good. Hello, what's going on? Ouch, I just got something in my eye. Ow, Steven. 2021 SYC Rohnert Park long. How would you attack this pattern? I don't know pattern names, brother. I'm sorry. 2021 SYC. I hope you spelt it right. Rohnert Part long on Bowling Planet. Okay. 44 feet, 4 point. It's very typical. Oh, yeah. That's as typical of a long pattern as you get. Play in 15 to 10. Break point around 9, 10, 11. Somewhere around there. Play a little deeper to give yourself a little more hold room. You'll be good. Stronger equipment is going to be best. Hey, Chris. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Grandmaster, you sure HK22C dies after 50 games? Even manufacturers say your ball's a new ball after 50 games of oil. Bet many don't get out, but normally with different stories, the truth is in the middle. Yeah, no, that is something I've heard a lot more from a lot of bowlers recently, is just the HK22C squared is puking out a little sooner than people think, and it really calms down a lot. Now, it calms down to a point where I've heard some people say like it's just unusable for how smooth it is now. I've heard others say now it's in an actual usable spot. For me personally, my only HK22C squared ball that I've actually thrown a lot is the Ebonite Spartan. I really like it. I hated it out of box. Out of box, it was way too strong, way too early. It was virtually useless for me. So I popped some polish on it. I threw it about 5 more games, and then finally it got into a spot where it's actually a little bit weaker in the asymmetrical side. So even though it's supposed to be super strong, it is really tamed down where it's weaker than most other equipment, most other ASIMs that I have. So yes, the HK22C squared, it is a noticeable difference. HK22C, it wasn't as noticeable, but HK22C squared is a very noticeable change. And yes, the manufacturers don't like to say that bowling balls are different after a couple of games, but it is the case. The big issue is all the reviews you're going to see are fresh out of box. So all the reviews you're going to see, like the strategy, for example, you're seeing that ball hook miles and it's completely unusable for most people watching this video right now. It probably isn't that after like 10 games, but that's a long 10 games where you have a ball that's just going to hook miles. So the phase 2, in my opinion, does the exact same thing. For the first 5 games that you have a phase 2, it's a different bowling ball. It's super strong, super early. But then once it gets some oil in it, it starts calming down. Hey, Jerry, what's going on, man? Good to see you. So yeah, be ready for that with any HK22C squared stuff or most bowling balls on the market. I got to admit, motive, that doesn't really happen. At least it hasn't happened for the couple of motive balls I've had. They haven't really started uncontrollable, minus if they come out of the box with like 1500 grit surface. Jaybird, why are smoother bowling balls ideal for tournaments? The main reason is control. When you're on a tournament pattern, you have much less room for error. No matter what ball you have, you just have less wiggle room. Well, because of that, you need bowling balls that are more consistent. Angular bowling balls, if you miss your spot a little bit, it's going to be too angular and it's either going to go through the face for a big split or you're going to almost miss the head pin for a big split. The smoother stuff, it's going to hook earlier. It's going to give you that little extra room where you're going to hit the pocket, and your leaves are going to be more 10 pins and 4 pins versus 2 4-10s and 3 7s, things like that. So that's why smoother bowling balls are best early on until there's a little bit, it turns more into a house shot. Once it gets closer to that house shot type level where there's oil in the middle and less on the outsides, that's when you can get to the more angular stuff and you can start wanting stuff that's going to carry a little bit better. And Chris McAllister started watching Born to Bowl. Nice. What do you think of it? This week's episode was awesome. I loved following Belmo a lot. It's always really cool to see some of these guys' backgrounds. Like, you know a little bit of it if you're deep into bowling, but not as deep as it gets. So that's been really cool to see, especially with him. He has that hard situation where he lives across the world. And so like right now he's taking 2 weeks off to go back to see his family. And that makes sense. When you have 4 kids in a family, it's very hard just to ditch everything and go and be away for a couple of months. So that's been really cool to see on that. And then the World Series of Bowling was awesome to see. The Belmo versus EJ rivalry is so good. And it really showcases, like, I think a lot of people forget that Belmo is still a top 10 bowler in the world. Like, he's still top 10 in points on the PBA. Maybe not after these 2 weeks where he's missing the tournaments, but right now I think he was in 8th or something. Last year he ended in like, I think top 7. So Belmo is still there and he's still incredible. But because we don't see him on TV, a lot of people might think, he's washed up and he's gone. No, not in the slightest. No, he is still a very good bowler. Unheard, I got a C300 dynamic swing. What could you replace it with? Anything. I would go alert. The dynamic swing series was really, really bad. The remakes of them, they were probably some of the worst balls that have been made in the last 10 years. So I think that's actually a pretty good idea to go with like an alert, Anger Solid, phase 2, things like that. Nomar, there's a Pro-Am at my local bowling center. Has a lot of open slots still. That's pretty cool. How amateur can you be and still sign up for one of these? Pro-Am, it can be anyone. I've seen guys who bowl PBA regionals join them before. So they're a fun event. They're not a competitive cutthroat thing. It's just more for fun to be able to bowl with the pros. B-Rack, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, man. Might be premature, but the Widow Dynasty is looking like ball of the year for you. 4 honor scores in the month of March across 3 different houses. I drilled the ball end of February. Hey, that's awesome. I'm glad it matches up that well for you. No, I think the Dynasty is a top 10 ball in the market right now. Ball of the year is going to be tough, especially because we're only, a third of the way, we're a quarter of the way through the year. But it is a really good ball. It is a really good Black Widow. I think it blows the 3.0, original 3.0 out of the water, which is good. Deadshot, I missed out on the Primal Rage. Which one do you think you can pick up that's similar? The Nebula is nearly identical. The Nebula is so close to it. Level Up, any word on the new storm balls and when reviews will be coming? So we should be getting announcements for them on Friday is what I'm guessing. I'm setting aside some time on Friday, expecting them to release at 10 a.m. Central Time. So I'd be ready for that. And for Storm, they make everybody wait a couple of days before ball reviews get dropped. So you'll probably see reviews next week at some point for the Monsoon and the Rocket AI. Josh, I bought the Ion Max Pearl. Never thrown it yet. Should I open my house shot league tonight? Yeah, no, try it. League is the best time to try a new bowling ball. That's what I do. My time to attempt a new piece is always at league. It's a good practice session in that way. Maniac, I have a great stream, so I have great news. I'm getting a Phase 2 Pearl. Nice. Boss is buying me one for my B-Day. Congratulations. That's awesome to hear. Reese, what's up? Traveling Irishman, I have Zero Mercy Solid. I'm a big hammer guy. Have you seen the Black Widow Toxin Pearl? Yeah, I would not recommend the Black Widow Toxin or the Black Widow Toxin Pearl. The bright green Toxin was not well liked by a lot of people that I know that purchased it and that messaged me about it. A lot of them were a bit disappointed. So the Pearl, I wouldn't get high hopes for. It might be a little too pricey. Overseas stuff is always hard. It's really cool because it's unique. But it's not generally better. There's very few times I've thrown overseas things and it's actually better than stateside stuff. The IQ Winner is the one situation where I think that one is a little better for my game for what I need it for. But otherwise, the stuff here is just, it'll be as good. Billy Oliver, my center has a lot of balls that are retired. Is there a certain one I should look for? It all depends on what they have, man. Billy, it all depends on what they have. Celtic, how do you build an arsenal for someone who plays more direct versus someone who hooks the entire lane? Well, when you build an arsenal, you have to know your style. You have to know if you're rev dominant or speed dominant. The guy that hooks the entire lane generally is going to be more rev dominant. The guy who plays straighter generally going to be more speed dominant. So there's different bowling balls that you pick. Speed dominant guys, you want to kind of get those guys closer to a middle ground on the lane. The speed dominant guys, you get stronger stuff for. The rev dominant guys, you get weaker stuff for. So that's usually how it goes. Let's see. Pickles. You have your arsenal. I'm looking for a urethane or smooth mid-sharp. Pickles, if you don't bowl tournaments, you don't need a urethane bowling ball. Remember that. Especially if you have a level, like you absolutely, if you do only bowl league, don't get a urethane. It's not worth it. It is, there are better options all over the place. But if you're looking for that medium sharp ball, looks like you have a little bit of everything. Rockstar Amped and Phase 2 Pearl are two of my personal favorites, some of the best on the market. Peter, question is Radical Max Bias, similar or same as the Vex? Way different. Way different. Yeah, the Max Bias is going to be super early and smooth. The Vex is going to be a lot later down lane. B-Rack, love the videos and ball summaries. If you haven't addressed it, what's your current rotation in your bag? Good question. I just added the Gremlin Tour X, so I still have my Baby the Effect Tour. I still like to bring as my big ball. My Ion Max is still there. I don't throw it that much because it's so strong. But Ion Max is the top of my bag. And then below that, Effect Tour. Below that is generally a shiny Rockstar. I have it about 3,000 to 4,000 grit. And then now I'm going to add a Gremlin Tour X in there. I usually would have an Ion Pro or that IQ Tour Winner in there as well. So kind of switch between those. I like to have more solid pieces than pearls. On the pearl side, I like to have, or the shiny side, I should say, I either put the Origin or the Viking as my top ball. Below that, I go Phase 2 Pearl or Rockstar Amped. And then I'm going to go Next Factor now as my ball below it. And then if I really need a weak piece, I've got the High Road 40. So that's generally what I go with and what I've had for a while. I haven't bowled a tournament, though, it's been about a month at least. So I get to bowl a lot of tournaments in the next couple of weeks. So I'm excited. I'll let you know how the arsenal changes over those couple of weeks because I have a lot of options that I can go through. BL Hawk, the Brunswick strategy looks sick. It looks like a lot of ball. That ball looks like a lot of bowling ball. If you're speed dominant, you don't need a strategy. I will throw that out there already. Speed dominant rev dominant bowlers. Rev dominant bowlers, you do not need that ball. Rev dominant guys, that's going to be way too much bowling ball for you. There's a lot better options that are going to be more controllable. The strategy seems like it's an Ion Max Pearl on steroids, which is not a ball most of us need. It just, I think Charles from the Hype showed it perfectly, where he had zero room for error with that ball. If he got it in, it never laid there, and it always hooked on a house shot. And if he got it out, it always overhooked on a house shot. And then no matter how far left he got, it just kept on hooking. So be careful with that one. I'd wait a little bit to see how it is after a few shots. Ron Hicklin was having some issues. Oh, 100% he was. Yeah. No, Hicklin was... I mean, they said in it, he's speed dominant and he's a lefty. That's not a shape he likes to see on that side. And that thing was going absolutely sideways. I know Angel from Luke Rosdahl's channel made it look really good, but she spins it a ton, has high axis tilt, axis rotation, and she's likes angles playing a little bit straighter, and that's where that ball's good. So she's more on that speed dominant, higher axis tilt, needs more bowling balls to hook early. That's why they sand everything for her. So that is where that ball is going to be good. If you want to be able to play further deeper on the lane, that's where the strategy is going to be great. Drink of the day, by the way, Kickstart, Mountain Dew, pineapple, orange, mango. Delish. I'm a little bit tired today. I just have not slept well the last couple of days since getting back from Vegas. It's been kind of iffy. I slept like a baby in Vegas, but now I'm just not sleeping well. So unfortunately, caffeine at 6 p.m. Cody Lofton, have you bowled at the Orleans in Vegas? I have. Yeah, it plays well. It plays okay. A little more hook than a lot of the other centers in Vegas, but yeah, Orleans is fine. I like it. Tyran, we need a Brunswick bold and a Brunswick cotton to go with this strategy for bold strategy cotton. I love it. Jeff, you found a Bionic for 100. Ooh, that's awesome. That's a really cool deal. Yeah, I don't foresee the Bionic going on sale ever. It's just too popular already. So, and I know Storm is having some back order issues where they're trying to pump out as many as they can because so many people want them. That ball's never going on sale. Ever. Barricane, I have an LT48 you still use. That's awesome. Damon, do Brunswick do 10-pound balls? Yes, they do. Yeah, Brunswick, all companies make 10-pound bowling balls. Kyle, can I have the Phase 2 Pearl and the Ion Max Pearl in the same bag? Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can. That's a good combo, actually. Lefty has a blue coral at 5,000. Do I need the Hysteria? I wouldn't. If you like the blue coral, I would not get a Hysteria. I think they're going to be a little too close together. And Irishman is traveling to Reno right after me. Oh, shoot. I'll be meeting you in person. I'll be out Friday going into Mother's Day weekend. Shoot. Yeah, I'll be gone by Thursday, I believe. G. Bryant, what's going on? Is there a big difference between the Revenge and the Sneak Attack? No, not at all. The HK22 is going to make it more angular, is really the big thing. And then they both come out of box shiny. I don't know if the Sneak Attack was coming out of box shiny. Let me look quick. I don't think it was. If it was, it didn't have much on it. Oh, God. Yellow. Look out. Okay, the original Sneak Attack did. But what about the Sneak Attack Solid? Sneak Attack Solid was the good one. Yeah, that was only at 3,000. So right now, if you want to make the Sneak Attack, you can. But you need to dull the ball a little bit. You need to put some surface on the Solid one. That's solid pricing? Yeah, thank you. Yeah, no, that's the goal of it is I want cheap coaching and cheap help for you guys. I don't want a nickel and dime or anything. So I know coaching can be well over $100. Let me get rid of this one channel who is throwing stuff. Where is a ban? There it is. Get banned. All right. Someone was saying some stuff in Twitch, but Mike, thank you for the Prime subscription. Really appreciate it, man. Really, really appreciate it. But no, yeah, the goal is like coaching is expensive. Arsenal help can be really expensive. So this is a good, cheaper way for you guys to get that. Mikey, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. David Hahn, what's up? Kai made it. Good, good. XX Mill, what would be a good ball for Fry the Neon pattern? I'm guessing it's Kegel Neon, right? Kegel Neon oil pattern. That pattern is, let's see. Apologies. I don't know any pattern names off the top of my head. It's just not a skill I have. I remember bowling balls. I don't remember oil patterns. Oh, it's a house shot. It's just a house shot. Stand left, throw right. And a lot of bowling balls will work. Scotty Thompson on Facebook. What's going on? Andy Pex. I have 100 plus on my Zero Mercy Solid. I've just been getting it surfaced and I clean it regularly and it's not dropped off. Okay, well, that's good at least. That's awesome. Joey, what's going on? I did see a question over here from Glusep. Do you think Ryan Barr should have won the Ohio Classic? It runs into the exact same situation as last week where the number one seed is not winning on the PBA Tour at all. And there's a very big problem with that. I think number one seeds are 1-7 now. Like, it is not advantageous to be the best bowler at the tournament. So one idea I got from Josh, who donated earlier, who I don't think is hopping in anymore. I think he had somewhere to go. He said, you have two different prize funds. where you pay for qualifying and then you pay for the step ladder. So say you pay like $50K for whoever's the number 1 qualifier, and then for the actual step ladder, whoever takes first gets $50K to make the $100K. Because it really sucks. It does suck. Bowling is not, it's really hard where most of bowling happens off camera, and it's 99% of the tournament. Well, you can be the dominant guy for 99% of the tournament, and you lose in one tournament, in one shot. Like for Barnes, he misses his 10th frame, and that's it. Then he loses the title, and it's legacy defining. And it's very unfortunate. Like, hey, Unheard, thank you for the sub. And like, he should have won. It's as simple as that. Ryan should have won. He almost broke the scoring record the week before. EJ should have won. He broke the scoring record, and just 1 seeds should win, but they aren't, which is really crazy. And it's not a random circumstance this year. There's something going on why they're not actually winning, which is disappointing. Braca, would you bring the Evoke Mayhem and Jackal Ghost in the same bag? I personally would not. I think they're a little too close together unless you have like polish on the Jackal Ghost or on the Evoke Mayhem. I think if the surfaces are different enough, then yes. But otherwise, I don't think it's a great idea. Yeah, Nick, EJ is having one of the greatest seasons ever. He's in first place in points, which is so hard to do without winning a title. So there's a rule in the PBA that no one really knew about where you need to win a title to actually be considered for Player of the Year. So EJ could lead in every category and not win Player of the Year. And that's going to cause some issues if that happens. It will cause a lot of issues. Balrog. Storm Solid Balls come strong because they have them at 2K grit. CTD did a test on like 20 IQ tours, and they all came at 2,000 or 1,500. Motive is the only one that comes out correct. No, yeah, that's pretty common. All the brands, I would argue none of the brands are actually consistent with the surface out of factory. The reason is they just use sanding pads, just like we do. They just have a ton of sanding pads, and if you use a sanding pad too many times, it smooths out. So if I'm using a 2,000 pad and I use it on 10 bowling balls, by that 10th ball, it might be up to like 3 or 3,500 grit. So that's what happens with those companies. For example, my Cove came out of box at like 2,000 grit. It was supposed to be 4,000, but it was at like 2,000. Or my Energize came out of the box super, super shiny, and it was supposed to be like 1,500 grit polished, and it was about 3,000 to 4,000 grit polished. It was a marble. So it's very random on what they come out of box. So it's always, that part's kind of tough. You kind of have to use the eye test on it. Saw lots of hook fresh out of the box with the Double Trouble, and that's just plain HK22. Only 3 games on it. That's with pin down. Yeah, and I bet you'll notice it calming down a little bit more as you go now. Let's see, Jack Tran. What do you think of the balls that have smaller cores and are more covered dominant? I love my Effect 2 and was looking at other pieces that have similar. So personally as a bowler, those styles fit my game best. The bowling balls that are cover dominant, strong cover, weak core are really good for me. Effect Tour, Scorpion Low Flare, Ion Pro, Gremlin Tour, Black Widow Tour. Those bowling balls are my bread and butter. I love the super strong covers because I can just manipulate them well enough and they fit my game better. Some people like the stronger cores and the weaker covers. Absolute Power, Origin EX, Transformer, things like that. So it really depends on the person. Overall, it is better to be cover dominant than core dominant. One of the issues that can happen in bowling is sometimes a company will make a core that's way too strong for the cover stock, and then the ball just never hooks because the core poops out before the cover can pick up. So that can happen, but generally, people like core dominance or cover dominant stuff over core dominant stuff, and I'm in that boat as well. Corey, keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Corey. Appreciate it. Thoughts on the Super Sport for a benchmark ball? Yeah, absolutely. It can be a great benchmark ball. It's very similar to the IQ Tour. Insert name, good layout for the Hypnotize. So something cool that I saw today. Oh, you guys will be the first to know it. Let's see. Let me do this quick. I am going to go to live stream showing screen. And then we're going to pull up TikTok and we're going to move it. And we are going to do the same thing. Come on, TikTok. Work with me. Work with me, TikTok. Nope. General. Window. There we go. All right. What we're going to... Oh, hi. You're looking at my Twitch. We are going to go to Brunswick Bowling. Check this out. We are going to go to... I should have clicked on Click on the strategy. We have the strategy on the very bottom of the page. We're going to have a lot of links down here. But what we have here is the universal drilling instructions. I was notified this is brand new from Brunswick Bowling. If you click on it, it's going to give you a lot of options. It's going to give you easy to understand recommended drilling layouts for ASIM and SIM bowling balls. These documents include layout resources for both thumb in and no thumb bowlers. So if we click on asymmetrical, we're going to go with that hypnotize. You said you're two-handed. We have 5 different layouts. It's very tiny text. 5 different layouts that can work for you. Do you want a smooth benchmark? Well, then it gives you drilling range angle 50 to 70 degrees, 4.5 inch pin to pap, and then a 2.5 inch pin to cog. Boom. Do you want it to be a sharp back end ball? Well, you have 60 to 80 degrees, 5 inch pin to pap, 4 inch pin to cog. Now, they do have the actual how to find it. Use our converter to determine how proper dual angle converted layout based on the desired ball reaction. Click here to download it, or you can find it at deviatebowling.com. And otherwise, it says if you're speed dominant, one second. If you're speed dominant, you decrease the drilling angle by 10 degrees, move to pin 0.25 inches closer, decrease the valve by 5 degrees. Kind of cool. If you're rev dominant, you do the opposite. So really cool idea. And that says these are not guaranteed. We recommend working with your pro shop to actually figure things out. Must have at least moderate bevel, and it gives a lot of different things down here. But this is brand new. It's been in the works for a couple of years, and luckily now it has finally been posted. And you can tell it's official because it only has 6 of the logos. Who they forgot? Oh yeah, Radical's not included. Radical does their own thing, and Radical doesn't like posting this information. So that's why you don't see theirs, unfortunately. But very, very cool. Let me go back to this. There we go. So yeah, something kind of cool from the Brunswick brand. So when you have a layout question, that's a good way to figure out what you need. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, there we go. Now we're good. Can you use the Venom Shock and GB5 in the same bag? Yeah, 100% you can. The Venom Shock, you'll just have to keep a little lower in the bag. Insert name. Why do they say this ball is good for controlling the pocket? Isn't the goal always to get your ball to the pocket? Yes, but when they say controlling the pocket, it's more of a smooth bowling ball is usually what people mean. So what that is you have that pocket control like we talked about earlier, where you have that smoother reaction where you're going to hit the pocket a lot more. You have more room for air to hit the pocket. Your misses aren't going through the face or missing the head pin, things like that. So those are bowling balls that are controlling the pocket. That's our smooth category that we talk about on the channel all the time. Our sharp category doesn't control the pocket all that well. Rev Dude, what are your thoughts on the Zero Mercy Solid? I'm a balanced low speed, low rev. It's a good ball for the speed dominant crowd. It's too much for balanced and rev dominant, but it's a great ball for speed dominant. It's one of the most popular balls on the planet right now. Jaybird, what are your thoughts on comparing the Strategy and the Energize? I think the Energize is going to be weaker overall the way it looks. I have the Energize, and it's not the strongest ball in the world. It's strong, but it's not that strong. So I would say the Strategy is going to be stronger and sharper. And Kenzie, hey, Zach, we have some tournaments coming up on my alley. Me and the tournament director were talking about getting you up here. Oh, yeah, let me know. Shoot me a DM, Kenzie, and we'll see if it works in the schedule. I'm a little bit busy in the next couple of months, but yeah, let me know, and we'll see if we can make it. Insert name. Does the Black Widow Mania die out too quickly? I've heard that more and more from people. I have heard that the Black Widow Mania is kind of dying out a little bit quicker too, but I haven't heard that as much as I did with like the Outer Limits Solid or the Black Widow 3.0, things like that. DM me on Instagram. Got it. Deal. Remember, my DMs are always open for everybody, even outside of Kenzie. Like, if you have questions, DM me whenever. I always answer. Joe Walsh, greetings from Denver. Not thrilled about my Black Venom. Oh, anything else motive I can try? I have the Black Widow 3.0, the Mania, and the Summit. Try a Venom Shock. Just go with a Venom Shock instead. It's a different ball. Everyone loves the Venom Shock, so might be a better fit for you because it's not asymmetrical. It's not as shiny or it's about the same surface out of box, but it's going to be a little smoother, a little earlier. Insert name. Why is it better to move in rather than ball down? Well, if there isn't much oil in the front part of the lane, you're going to have less room for error. So it's better to chase the oil more into the lane so that you have miss room left and right. That's your main goal in bowling, is to maximize your miss room. If you have to bowl and have to hit a spot this big, you're bowling wrong. You're in the wrong part of the lane. You're in the wrong ball. You're not helping your scores out. In bowling, on almost every pattern, you should have miss room, either miss room left or miss room right. So remember that next time you're bowling. If you think you have to spit a spot that's an inch wide, 40 feet down lane, you're not doing it right. There's something going on that you need to move where you're standing. You need to switch balls. You need to bump your speed up, bump your speed down. Something that's going to give you more of that wiggle room. That's a bowler's, I think, biggest issue is they try to stay in a spot too long and they have no miss room and they think they're throwing it bad. You're not throwing it bad. You're just in a bad part of the lane. Jim Schuster, Nebula, Evoke Hysteria, and Bionic. Do they fit? Yes. The Bionic is early enough where I think those three can fit in the same bag. Kai, taking this to spare time, what do you think? Evoke Hysteria, Lethal Venom, Primal Ghost, Venom Shock, Venom Hysteria. I think the Venom Hysteria is going to be at money there. So yes, remember spare time in Owatonna hooks a lot more than other places. David Jones, I thought the Widow Dynasty was going to be too much ball. At first, it was until I got out of my comfort zone and changed my line. The 10 games after that are any indication, I can kiss my handicap goodbye. Oh, rip the handicap. You're going to love the Gremlin Tour X. I'm liking it so far. I'm having some fun with it so far. It's a cool ball. It's a very, very cool ball. Terry Swanson drilled up a Vexed. I'm really impressed. The ball is good. I'm speed dominant. Never use anything at 3,000, but it works well with that ball. Good. No, the Vexed is a great ball. Something I saw today, by the way, that you might want to run out and grab is the Radical Evil Eye. A good ball. Very good ball. It's going to be in my top Brunswick arsenal. Is $150. It's $50 off right now on bowling.com up there. I was baffled when I saw that today. I was looking up because what I did is I added a little section for the price. So I'll show the bowling.com price in my video that comes out tomorrow. And it's cheap. I don't know why, but it's $150. I don't know if it's not selling well or they got it for cheap or whatever it was, but you can get that ball for $150, which is weird. I think $195 was too much for that Vexed and that Evil Eye, but at that rate, I would recommend waiting. Don't buy a Vexed yet. The Evil Eye has been out for 4 months, 5 months maybe. So if we wait until August, the Vexed is going to be on sale. So if you want to save a couple of bucks, it could be a good option, which is weird. I don't know why. Like, a Vexed and Evil Eye are two of the best balls Radical's made in years. I will die on that hill. That I would say it's been 3 years since we've had a ball as good as the Evil Eye or the Vexed from Radical, which is awesome. Good for them. Love that for them. I'm unfortunately not going to have Phil Cardinal commenting and saying, hey, thank you for mentioning our product on any of my videos. But because I said good things, not bad things. But it's good for them. It's awesome. I love it. Love it for them. Chubbs, how's a Spartan for a lefty rev dominant? It's going to be early. It's going to be very early. But it can be that good first ball out of the bag. It's going to be that earliest ball that you have. Let's see. We haven't really covered the 4 new bowling balls yet. So like I said, Brunswick released 4 brand new bowling balls that are coming out next Thursday already. That's with their new marketing scheme that's been around all year. They only give about 9 days between announcement and release day. So we haven't seen a whole lot about all the bowling balls yet, but we have seen first the Brunswick Strategy. Balls retailing at $195. It's a strong asymmetrical pearl ball, and it is being dubbed as the strongest pearl ball on the market by everybody. Everybody is just baffled by how much that ball truly hooks. So everyone's comparing it to a Zero Mercy Pearl. So if you have a Zero Mercy Pearl, you can ignore this one. It's a lot of ball. Rev dominant guys, I'd recommend staying away from it. Speed dominant guys, this one might be a little better for you, especially if you want to hook the ball. It reminds me of the old 900 Global Origin. When the Origin was coming out, people were baffled by how much it hooked. Being a shiny ball, it was so early, but still pretty strong. The Strategy seems very similar to that. So that's the Strategy. Then we have the Kinetic Sapphire Ice coming out. That is in a very mild asymmetrical pearl ball. So the Kinetic series is an old one from track. People have really liked the Kinetic series for a while. So that one's now finally coming back. We finally get a new Kinetic. HK22 cover stock, so it's a lot more angular down lane. This one is very skid snappy, is what I've heard. I've had a couple people say that's the special one in the group of the 4. Like usually when the Brunswick balls come out, there's sometimes a couple stinkers and a couple good ones. This time, the Kinetic Sapphire Ice is the gem of the bunch, so be ready for that one, and it's only $145. It's probably going to fit kind of where a Crown Victory does, is where it looks right now, but we need to see a couple reviews before we say that. Watch out. There's going to be a lot of hype for that ball because it is a throwback ball to a certain degree. So don't fall for the hype too much. From what I've seen, the ball is going to be very angular. Then Radical is releasing some new entry-level balls with the Revenge Solid and Pearl. Nothing too special about these balls. Brunswick has more entry-level options now, which is great. So they have the Vibe series, the Arctic and the Bubblegum. They have the Danger Zones in the Danger Zone Solid and the Purple Ice. And now they have the Revenge Solid and Pearl. Very similar bowling balls across the board. I don't know which is going to be better yet. Revenges seem a little bit weaker than the Danger Zones and a little bit weaker than the Vibes is what I'm seeing personally. But we're going to see more when we get some reviews. Charles from The Hype is the only one to release stuff about the Revenge series. So hopefully we get a little bit more sooner rather than later from some more unbiased guys. That's always the goal with a lot of this stuff is keep track of the sorry, Johnny, I'm just reading yours. Keep track of the unbiased guys. And Tyran with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Phil is probably mad that Radical made the CVL B6 arsenal. Don't talk about our stuff. Don't publicize our equipment. Johnny, I joined the Patreon for $15. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I didn't see the coaching arsenal part. Will it be up soon? Yeah, so you need to join it first, and then there should be some options that come up soon. So there might be a little bit of work to do, but yes, we will get that all situated. And Don's Bowling Buddies, what's going on, man? Let's see. Ryan, did you ever throw the Magic Gem? What did you think of it? The Magic Gem was great. It was just the original gem is all it was. It's a good ball. Strongest ball you're ever going to throw, though. You don't really need much that's weaker. Jacob H., when is it a good idea to bake a ball to take the oil out of it versus hitting it with Abralon? You should always try resurfacing first. That should always be goal number one. Resurface the ball, see what happens, see if you like it or not, and then after that, you can try the detox methods. AJ Gabriel, I don't know if someone has asked this. What are your thoughts on the Papa Meat video on bowling? I did end up watching that. I was terrified going in. Absolutely horrified going into that video. For anyone who doesn't know, Papa Meat is I think he's just like a variety YouTuber, really, more of a reaction guy, or like makes kind of little, not documentaries. I don't know what it is. It reminds me of an old podcast I used to listen to. I think it was like First House on the Left or something. No, I don't know. It was a horror podcast. But it was, yeah, it's labeled like bowlers are a lot or something, or I don't know. It was something like negative, but it ended up being a really good video. Pretty positive towards bowling, which was cool to see. So I really liked it. It was good. It was actually more positive than a lot of bowling creators are. Like, it's very funny. His video was very positive towards bowling. And then you have one-handed bowler coming out here saying bowling's dying. So it's... Bowlers like to take 2 steps forward, and then we're like, nah, that's too far forward. And then we trip ourselves and we fall backwards, or we ask somebody to push us backwards. It's so common. Like, if we all just stayed positive on bowling, it could be really big. The opportunity of bowling being big is so high. But then we have the negative stuff that happens that pushes us so far back. Like, bowling has an HBO docuseries that's a top 10 docuseries right now, or top 10 show on HBO. It's in the top 10. It's awesome. People are loving it. We have a lot of PBA stuff. The content creator side, views are up for the last couple of months for everybody involved. We're getting a lot of people into the sport. And then there's videos that come out say, bowling's dead. This is stupid, from an actual bowler. And it's just lies. It's wild. Oh, it's so crazy. Oh, there's your Zach rant of the day. I don't understand it, man. It's crazy, man. Absolutely bonkers. Anyways, back to the happy stuff. Mike, how long until we see the ZVL and Lewis collab videos? So we didn't actually make any videos when I was out there this time, but we do want to do stuff in the future. We didn't really have time this time. I didn't bring bowling balls out to Vegas or anything. Lewis didn't have much time to be able to do a lot. So we were just meeting up to hang out for a little bit and chat and converse and just introduce ourselves, really. So there will be stuff probably in the future, but don't expect anything in the next couple of months just because of that. GeForce, starting a 15-pound arsenal. You have a phase 2 solid and purple hammer. Do you recommend an Equinox solid? Well, you're not going to probably throw that purple hammer much unless you bowl on Sports Shot. Phase 2 and an Ion Max Pearl works. I wouldn't go an Equinox solid with what you have right now. I would lean phase 2 Ion Max Pearl and maybe some kind of weaker Pearl or weaker Solid instead. I think that would fit a little bit better. And Tyran with the $5 super chat. Thank you, man. ZVL should buy a little 6-lane center, fix it up. Now we can all drive in and compete. I am not making that kind of money yet. If the opportunity allows itself and I'm making some more money on this YouTube and social media thing, I wouldn't say no, but nothing right now. No, I am not making nearly enough quite yet to be able to do that. P-Zotter, Alert or Black Widow Tour? Go Alert. Alert is the GOAT. Zach posted a full motive arsenal a day or two ago. I did. Shanna, off the wall question. How tight should your fingertip grips be? So you want your fingertips to get up to that first knuckle, but be snug, not tight where it's gripping it. And you don't want to really go past it much. So you want to be able to be comfortable, but not tight is the big thing. If it's pushing on the sides of your finger and you can feel it too much, the finger holes are too tight. So be aware of that. And it's good just to try them. Luckily, fingertips are so easy to switch out. That one will be interesting. Luckily, the fingertips are very easy to switch out. So if it is too tight, you can just rip them out and put in bigger ones. Alvin, I threw a 296 honor score today. Big 4 on the last shot. Oh, that's still awesome, though. Congrats, man. Congrats. That's super cool. Love that for you. Fort Johnson just picked up a fab black hammer. Any info you can give me? That ball's about 40 years old, and it's not going to hook a whole lot. You're going to have to play right up the gutter, really. And it's just not, there's better options out there. But it's a cool ball. Don't get me wrong. It's a cool piece, but not going to hook much. Lenzy, my phase 2 Pearl has been hit or miss. I hit it with a 2K pad to break the cover, but either doesn't make the move or it's way too early. Any suggestions? Yeah, I would always recommend taking the polish off first is rule number 1. If a ball's being like that, where it either hooks too early or too late, that's always goal 1, just to make it a little more consistent. So if that isn't working, it might be a layout issue, or it might just not fit with your game. That's possible as well. It might just not be a fit for your style. Braca, would you bring? We hit you. Yofo. What's going on, Yofo? They ever make a bowling ball called the friend zone? It'd be perfect for guys who have a hard time scoring. Oh, that's beautiful. Well done, man. Eric Johnson, do you think the Crown Victory Hybrid is too clean for Nationals? Yes. Yeah, I think it's just it's not enough ball. Everybody who's doing really well at Nationals right now has that like medium smoother equipment, not really the angular stuff. So you're seeing a lot of alerts. You're seeing, I think we saw the Evil Eye once. You're seeing phase 2s. You're seeing Gremlin Tours, Ion Pros. Some of that like medium smooth stuff is what's doing best. Let's see. Jacob H. When is it a good idea? Oh, we did you already. Kyle, do you know what was the steal? What was a steal? The Hammerhead. It was only $149 and one of the greatest balls. I think it's still on sale. If I look at bowling.com, I feel like that thing is still super cheap. Let's see. Hammerhead. Yeah, it's only $127 right now on bowling.com. And they have every weight you can imagine because the ball's still made. So $150 is actually too pricey for that ball. It's actually a lot cheaper, which is crazy. It's very crazy. Michael McSmith, you're a no-thumb bowler. Was told I'm closer to a full roller, but I'm not. Should I try a full roller layout? My flare clips fingers sometimes. Oh, then don't. No, it is not worth trying it. Tyran, NASCAR has a better setup than the PBA. Oh, I could rant on about the step ladder. I get it. It's been around forever, but there's got to be better ways we can make a TV show, and I would love to see those in the next year or two. So that'd be really cool. Jason, I might have missed it, but I heard you mention coaching. Where can I get that info? Yeah, in my Patreon, I'm going to be offering $25 a month. You get a coaching lesson for whatever you want to work on, whatever you think is struggling with your game, and I can try to help you out. That link is in the description, patreon.com, I believe, /@ZVL Bowling. Let's see. Let me verify. Patreon.com/C/ZVL Bowling is what it is. So there's a C in there. I'm guessing for creator. Capania, what's going on? Can you help me fill the gap on which ball I need? Jackal EJ, Crimson Jackal, Lethal Venom, Venom Shock, Hyper Venom, Super Rally. You have a pretty big gap between the Hyper Venom and the Crimson Jackal. That's where, I mean, you're a motive guy, so there actually isn't anything that fits between those two bowling balls right now. But in other brands, that's where like a Phase 2 Pearl, a Rockstar Amped, GB5 Pearl, Stealth Mode Hybrid all fit. But with motive, there just is nothing you can put there right now, unfortunately. So Loki, you got to explain this one. 800 credit score hair, man. I don't know what that means. Tactical best ball for LFS lanes? I don't know what's LFS. Let me know what that is, man. Celtic, what's your biggest tip from getting to 200 to 210? Been working on getting my spares more consistent. Wasn't sure if there was something else. So yeah, hitting the pocket a lot. Just being able to once you get to 200, it means you're hitting the pocket a lot and you're striking, but you got to strike more. You got to get more, you got to knock out more corner pins. So that comes down to ball motion at that point, learning ball motion, what to do if you're leaving too many corner pins, things like that. Braca, didn't EJ have to shoot 280 back-to-back to make the show? Yes, last week he did. Last week he got the 5 seed. That was when Barnes was the 1 seed. Yeah, EJ made the show shooting 280 in the last 2, which was nuts. That dude's a freak of nature. That dude's an absolute freak of nature. Let me scroll. Scotty Thompson, I got the new Danger Zone. Been only using it 5 days. Is it good for dry lanes? It's decent for dry lanes. It's a little stronger for the first couple of games than you'd expect. Arts, greetings from Chihuahua, Mexico. Hey, what's going on? GS outside. Ron loved the strategy. We read love a little different. So the big thing with the reviewers, like I've talked to a lot of the reviewers, them loving a ball shouldn't mean a lot to you. This is kind of a weird one to say, and I apologize for if any of the ball guys end up watching this, but if the subjective stuff doesn't really help. Like, a lot of people fell for the swag trap of people who really like the ball, then they buy it, but their style isn't anywhere close to the guys that liked it, and then they hate it. So if Ron liked it, that's good, but look what the ball does to see if it fits your game. I did see that in Charles's video on the Revenge Solid and Pearl. They look like doo-doo. They look terrible for him. The reason is because he was on a fresh house shot, and those balls are not meant for a fresh house shot. But there was guys in the comments saying, these balls look terrible. It's like, well, no, they aren't. They're just being used in the wrong situation. Every bowling ball can be thrown on a lot of house shots pretty easily. Like, all Charles needed to do was put a bunch of surface on them. Those balls would have looked great. It would have been seen as the best house shot balls of the year. So know what you're watching is my big recommendation. Know what you're seeing in reviews. I know there's a couple of guys who are all hype. Charles's name being the hype bowling makes this really tough because I can't say the word hype then because it seems like I'm referring to him. I'm not. Like, there's some that are just pure excitement. Like, you need to buy this ball. I made a video today saying there are no must-have bowling balls because there's a couple guys who only make videos saying this is a must-have bowling ball. This ball is better than you think it is. It's better than the specs look. It's better than what everybody else says. Know what you're watching. A lot of people actually watch reviews with them muted so they don't get swayed one way or the other. That's a good idea. Watch what the ball's doing. To me, that strategy is way too damn strong for 95% of bowlers. It's just too much. So it's something to keep in mind. But if you guys do fit with Ron's game, and if he says he loves a ball and you've bought those balls and they look good for you, then you can keep doing it. Absolutely. But just don't fall for anything. Try to know what you're watching before you go buy stuff. It's my little rant of the day. It's one of the biggest problems in bowling is a lot of bowlers really like seeing, hey, reviewer said it's a good ball, so I'm going to buy it. But I mean, me too, honestly. Like, when you listen to me, I'd recommend getting multiple opinions. Instead of just hearing from me and buying it, I'd recommend watching the reviews on it. Now, there's about less than 1% of ball reviews on the internet are actually negative, but I'd recommend watching it. See what the ball does. See if you like the ball motion of it. It's a big purchase, so don't just go into it willy-nilly. Always put in your research before you go and buy it. A giraffe named Penguin. What's going on? Core is greater than cover. ZGL to a T. Yeah, Zen Gold Label is exactly that. Weak cover, strong core. Wayne Hodge, I love medium core, medium cover, but the stronger cover, weaker cores are starting to be my favorite. There you go. I think I disagree with your thoughts on the Nebula and Venom Hysteria. Can't be certain yet. I mean, Motive has the Nebula as later and sharper. Luke had it as later and sharper. Who else did? Lewis had it as later and sharper when I talked to him. I mean, pretty much everybody is saying that the Nebula is a heck of a lot quicker and sharper. So I don't think there's really any proof that it's not that way quite yet. And Tyran with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, man. I would say there is a must-have type of ball, preferably a benchmarky or weaker. Oh, absolutely. 100%. Yeah, there's must-haves for like bowling ball slots. That's why we have the 6 categories. Like if you're a tournament bowler or if you want a lot of bowling balls, I recommend those 6 categories. 1 ball in each is going to be the play, but I mean, this is going to sound terrible. Is the phase 2 a must-have ball? Is it unique in that way? No. You can get a Game Breaker 5 and it's very similar to a phase 2. You can get a Vengeance. It's close to a phase 2. A Rockstar, close to a phase 2. There's a lot of balls that are very similar that you're not going to notice very big differences with. Now, the Purple Hammer is the big one that's a question mark because there aren't really any urethanes like it, but the Purple Hammer is also never going away. So that's a whole different story. Or Concept. There are balls close to the Concept. The new 2.0 is close-ish. With enough surface, the new 2.0 acts like a Concept in a lot of ways. So there's a lot of them like it. Oh, you said you don't need the Venom Hysteria if you have a Nebula. I think they are different. Well, yeah, of course they're different. I mean, I'll never disagree. There's no balls that are identically the same. There's just not a big enough difference if you only have 6 bowling balls in your arsenal. If you're a guy who has 6 bowling balls, there is zero reason you should have a Venom Hysteria and a Nebula in the same bag. They're too close together. Like, if you have an 8-ball arsenal, sure, go nuts. But for someone just building an arsenal and you're like, I have a Venom Shock and a Nebula and a Jack-O-Lanics and an Evoke Hysteria, do I need the Venom Hysteria? No, you do not. You need to fill out those other spots first. It's just, unless you see a big gap between your Venom Shock and your Nebula that you want to fill, that's when it can work. But there's a lot of situations like you don't actually need balls that are that close together. I have 1,400 arsenals that I'm going through right now for you guys. And there's a lot of times where there's bowling balls that are very close together that you only throw one or the other usually. So always a big thing to keep track of. Always a big thing to keep track of. Michael Waldrop, my speed is 13 to 14 miles an hour. I need a bigger pearl than my bubble gum. Stealth mode hybrid, phase 2 pearl, Rockstar amped are generally the best symmetrical options. Being 13 miles an hour, you probably don't need an asymmetrical ball, so I'd stick with the symmetricals. Mill, how often should I have my Hammer 3.0 baked and resurfaced? So I would only do that as a last option. I don't like to detox or bake or anything as a first resort, because if the detox isn't correct, if you do it yourself, whatever it may be, you might melt the plasticizers in the ball and kill the ball entirely. Very, very easy to do. The temperature that happens is like 150 degrees or something. And most detoxes are set at like 140 to 145. So if you do it yourself, be careful. There is the chance that you just demolish the ball entirely and it's just not going to hook anymore. But I would wait. Yeah, baking is a last option, I think. Luigi Pizza, it's bowling, not rocket science. You'd be surprised, man. There's a lot of intricacies with this thing. Because I can see places where you prefer one or the other, but not both. Yeah, and in those, and if you don't have that many bowling balls, it's not worth getting 2 that are similar in that way. Scott, thank you for the follow, man. Appreciate it. It's just too much money. Jess, new trackball. There is. Yes, we are finally getting another trackball, which is awesome. I love it. Track is on a tear. Like, if we look at the track lineup right now, they have a great lineup. Right now, they've got the Sapphire Ice. Great colorway, by the way. I love it. Synthesis. Stealth mode hybrid. All 3 very good bowling balls. The Synthesis is getting very slept on right now. It is very, very slept on. Criterion Inverse, you can ignore that one. Theorem Solid, fire. Paragon Shadow, fire. Stealth mode, fire. Like, they have a great lineup. I think Track is killing it right now. I think Track is knocking it out of the park. I love what they're doing for those guys. Alien Drummer, 2-handed, and someone gifted me a no-thumb DNA coil. Pin above the bridge, and it doesn't flare for me. I would recommend finding your positive access point. You need to find your positive access point to see why it doesn't flare. And then figure out why, figure out what the old layout was, and then put in a different layout is going to be best. Braca, what's the hardest pattern you've ever bowled on? I'd say the hardest patterns for me are 40 to 41 feet where where you can't play the gutter. Those are toughest because you have no misroom in, but you also have no misroom out. Those are the brutal patterns. So red square is always the example. It's like 40 feet flat. Like, those patterns suck. 45 feet flat, that's not as big of a deal. 40 feet is tough. 35 feet is easy. You just get it to the gutter and it'll hook. So that's my least favorite. Mills, could the strategy be a replacement for my dying vaporize? No. No, it's going to be way, way stronger. If you need a replacement for your vaporize, I'd go Outer Limits Black Hole. That's going to be a lot closer. Hey, Tyran with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much. Track is making sure they don't go the way of Columbia. I hope so. I really hope so. Hey, JR, what's going on? I'll go to league with 5 symmetrical solids and a spare ball, and they're all unique and different, but I'm very much in the minority. Yeah, no, you can. Absolutely. Like, right now with my arsenal, I could make a phase 2 Rockstar that's shiny. What else do I have? IQ Tour winner. What else do I got? Track Heat. Give me my old Track Heat that's super shiny. And then give me an Optimum Idol. Those are 5 different reactions, but I wouldn't categorize many of those balls as very close. And I also own 50 bowling balls, so a little bit different. Just give me a Cypher and a Sensor Solid remake and we're all set. You and that stupid Cypher, man. You and that stupid Cypher. About time to polish my Zero Mercy Pearl back up. There you go. GS. Solid is almost always better for speed dominant. It usually is, yeah. Or the stronger asymmetrical pearls. Michael was wondering because I saw the solid dies out quick. Mikey Waldroop over on Twitch. My ball speed is 13 to 4. Oh, we hit you already with the bubble gum. Don Dickey on Facebook, what's going on? And Lee Horner, what ball for string pins? So string pins, you need to get your ball through the pins a little bit better. So that's where like the stronger bowling balls are going to be a little better that don't deflect. Deflection is your biggest enemy on string pins. So you're going to want those stronger pieces are going to be a little better. GS, take care of your balls. Okay. Baraka, would you recommend an Apex Jackal to a two-hander? I would not recommend an Apex Jackal to anybody right now. I just don't do it. Don't get an Apex Jackal. The core is too funky for anyone to actually try to throw. And Joshua with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Joshua. I'm a lefty and I start with my Ion Pro Solid in league. What would be a good ball down? Should I look at the next factor at Ion Max Pearl? Ion Max Pearl won't really be a ball down, but the next factor will be. I think if you can find the next factor for 130, it's a good deal. Otherwise, like for you, you could go, I mean, yeah, that'll probably be best. I like that a lot. Otherwise, yeah, that's a clean and smooth sim solid. Haven't found anything like it on the left. Otherwise, yeah, cleaner, smoother symmetrical solid is a good option as well. So they don't, Cove actually wouldn't be that bad. Thinking about it, the Cove might not be a bad ball for you either. Cove's a good lefty ball. Grandmaster, I think the Evil Eye, Shadow of the Danger Zone. Holy crap, is the Danger Zone great. Larry Tripp, what benchmark ball would you recommend? And what hybrid ball would you recommend to replace my RSTX1? Ooh, the X1. There isn't much like the X. Transformer is probably the closest we've gotten in a while. So I would say the Transformer is the best replacement for the RSTX1. I wouldn't worry about the hybrid portion. The RSTX1 really acted like a solid. So I would say Transformer. Benchmark ball in general, phase 2 is still the GOAT. Game Breaker 5 is great. Stealth mode is great. The Brunswick Alert is awesome. The Motive Venom Shock is still goated. So any of those I think will be good. Waniac, Crown Victory Pearl is too much for most patterns, but look good on 47-foot Dragon. Oh boy. That's not where that ball should usually is thrown. But I'd be curious how you throw it. Swiller, my Big Bite just got delivered. Hey, you were the first guy to buy a Big Bite in about 3 months. So I'm curious to see how you like it. It's a good ball. No one cared about it, though. No one cared at all about that ball. Insert name. How do you find the part of the lane that gives you the most miss room quickly? Practice. Practice is the time where you have 2 goals in practice. 1, get warmed up, get loose. That hopefully should only make that a couple of minutes. The second goal idea in practice is to figure out where you have miss room. One of my favorite things to do in practice is to get lined up somewhere, 15 to 5, 17 to 6, whatever it may be. Get lined up and then miss my spot. Like try to miss right, try to miss left, see what the ball does. That's one way to kind of figure out what kind of area you have. It's an area check is one way to call it. So try to get lined up in practice. Like practice, your goal isn't just, I want to string together a 6-bagger. No, that's a bad idea. That's a waste of practice. What your goal should be is figure out what kind of room do you have. All right, I'm lined up. I found a spot that has struck for me and hit the pocket. What happens if I miss 1 left or 2 left? Does my ball hang in there and still hit the pocket and strike? No, it doesn't. All right, let's try missing right. It doesn't do anything there either. I might be in the wrong part of the lane. And then you move around. So that's the best time to figure that out. We talking about practice. Such a beautiful line. That's old at this point. Lee, I have 9 bowling balls and can't figure out the strings. Bowl decent on free fall. The big thing with strings is that deflection. Deflection is going to cause you to leave a lot of corner pins. It's a lot harder to strike because you need the right entry angle. So it really makes you emphasize that entry angle. So stronger balls will be better. Like on free, I'll be honest, on free fall, if you just hit the pocket, you're going to strike a lot. On strings, if you hit the pocket a lot, you might not strike that much if you have the wrong ball in your hand. Jaybird, will the kinetic be good for tournaments? I think, I haven't seen it yet, so I can't say much. I think that it is going to be good for the burn. It's going to be when it's best. I don't know yet, though. That's what I would assume just based on the numbers so far. JR probably can tell us a little bit more. Maybe he's drilled his up. I'm not really sure. He's a lefty, so only trust half of his opinion. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I love all you lefties out there. Hello, Zach and ZVL. What's going on, Don? Michael, I think the Evil Eye felt like a marketing gimmick, but also felt like it was competing with the Zero Mercies, and those were just easier to understand. Oh, absolutely. I would push the Evil Eye and the Vexed were way too expensive immediately. Like, that was my big push with it on the previews, is just they're too pricey. If I can get a Zero Mercy for the same price as like a casual bowler, I'm going to get the one that hooks more. It's a Zero Mercy solid. Everyone's throwing it. It looks great. I saw it on TV. Why would I not pick that one for the same price? And it was just a little too expensive. I would have loved to see those balls at like 170. I think 170, that ball would have been sick. But I wonder if the price is the problem. I'm not sure, though. I have no idea. I don't see the marketing. I don't see the sales. I don't see any of that. It's just surprising. Like, that's kind of our tell in bowling of how well a ball's doing is it, how quickly does it go on sale? And going on sale within 4 months is quick. It's very quick. Like, we're not going to see a lot of balls on sale that quick. The next factor, another ball that just, it got put on sale very quick. Very, very quick. We're not seeing the Phase 2 Pearl on sale. We're not seeing the Zero Mercies on sale at all. We are seeing that ball on sale and the next factor. So I don't know. It's odd. And yeah, the core is something that a lot of people don't care about, I think. I think there's a lot of people who are like, ooh, technology, it looks cool. But a lot of people are like, that's way too much. I don't know that stuff, and I don't care to know that stuff, so I'm just going to get a basic ball. They see it as like an advanced ball. It's really not. It's just a little more technical with where you put the layout. B-Rack, if you had to create a fun and competitive 5-man team, who would they be? I'm sure you bowl with some great bowlers and have some awesome friends you'd bowl with. Honestly, I've put myself into situations where I bowl with a lot of people I never know. So I really don't care much. I'll bowl with whoever, whenever. I'll sub in whatever league. I've bowled in a seniors league back at home, back in my hometown, where I was the youngest one by about 50 years. That was awesome. I've bowled in leagues where I didn't know anybody on the team that was my age and got to know them by the end. So that was fun. I've subbed in a little bit of everything. So I'm not too picky. I'll bowl with whoever and wherever, really. Let's see. Hibiscus. Just got a shock as my first medium or active ball. I think that's a great choice. I think it's an awesome choice. Playful, what's going on? How do the motive ascends compare to the raws and the tropicals? The ascends hook less. So the big difference is the ascends are made in, I believe, somewhere in Asia. I don't know if it's China or South Korea. And then the surges and the raws are made in Mexico. Generally, the balls that come from Asia or South Korea hook less. The cover stocks are a little harder. They're a little more dense. Whatever it may be, they just hook less. So the ascends are going to hook a little bit less than the raws and the tropicals. That's how most people have seen it so far. Don's getting his full effect soon. That's awesome. Americo, got my 15-pound arsenal. Phase 2. Oh, yeah, we hit you already. Wood Bay, do you have a rough schedule for the Pokemon streams? I want to, not yet. Now that I'm not doing the Bowlers Network Daily Show, it actually opens up my day quite a bit. So I'm hoping Tuesdays and Thursdays at some point, but I don't know what time yet. It just depends on how quickly I can knock out actual videos, and I need to figure out what days I'm going to be going to the bowling alley to get footage. That's going to be starting next week. I got to shoot a message out to one of the bowling center operators or owners in my area to see if I can sneak in there in the afternoons or early mornings, whatever it may be. Justin, curious to see how the Revenge will compare to the Intel Recon. It's supposed to be weaker. I think Radical does have a, I think they have their own ball chart. Uh-oh, be careful. We're going to get yellowed out in 3, 2. There it is. So if we look at just their ball chart, if we look at just their balls, weird phrase, they should have a, yes, they do. Radical comparison. So they have the Intel Recon as earlier than the Revenge Solid and the Revenge Pearl. Very similar oil volume, but they just have it as slower response compared to the other two. Don, any insight on the Heckler Hybrid? Nobody has bought it. The Heckler Hybrid, really, it just hasn't gotten any love and attention for a while because it came out with so much other stuff. It's an okay ball. It's just a quicker Heckler. So if you like the Heckler, it's a good, sharper option. Tyran with another $5 super chat. I'll let anyone bowl with me, but if we're all hulking blue collar folks born to Amon Amarth music, talk serious trash to each other when we screw up. Hey, that's totally fair. I am okay with that. Aaron Gonzalez as a rev dominant 2-finger no thumb bowler with the Venom Hysteria be a good pickup. Depends what other balls you have. I mean, I think the Venom fits a lot of different styles, but it just depends what else you have, so you're not buying the same ball twice. Pickles, I'm bowling tournaments that don't tell me the oil pattern until after, so I want more urethanes. Yeah, that's fair. Those are the worst kind of patterns in my opinion. I hate when they don't tell you the pattern. I think it actually is harmful for tournaments compared to helpful. Mystery patterns just mean people are bringing more bowling balls. Like, I will bring more bowling balls to a tournament where I don't know the pattern compared to one where I do know the pattern. So you just fill up the bowling alley more. It doesn't really even the playing field or anything. True House Bowler, why did you stop doing the daily show with Bowlers Network? So I was removed from Bowlers Network for some disputes among sponsorships is what it was. They were picking up some sponsors. I was not 100% on them, and then we parted ways due to it. So that is why I am not on the Daily Show anymore. So yeah, I'll be curious if they mention it. I think the Daily Shows did start back up just with Carolyn and Jay, just without me, I think. I'm not positive. Yeah, I will not be on them going forward. Tyran, bowling isn't dying. It just needs more places to bowl. Yeah, and bowling ran into an issue where it wasn't bowlers that were the problem. It was that in the 50s, 60s, 70s, there were too many bowling alleys that were made. The money makers at those times were movie theaters and bowling centers. Those were the two entertainment things. When more entertainment options came available, there were just too many bowling centers and too many movie theaters in a town. So they had to start closing them. So that's what ended up happening there. And people couldn't keep up. So that's all right. It happens. Jim, there's absolutely no cohesion in the bowling community, content creators and bowlers. I mean, there is. The community is big, though. A lot of people say that the bowling community is small. It's a big community. It's a very large community. There's a lot of bowlers. There's a lot of people who see bowling stuff, and there's a lot of different opinions, but we just don't have those unifying things. There really isn't a unifying force in bowling. There's no content creators that really are unifying in a lot of ways. I think Brad and Kyle were the closest to that. Otherwise, there really isn't that unifying, this is what we should do, and everyone is on board with it. That just never happens. Bowling is very good at arguing with each other. I think one of the perfect examples is whenever I put out a video that some higher ups in the bowling world disagree with, they're going to comment. If they disagree with it, I'm going to get a lot of comments from very high up people in the bowling world. But if I make a good video that's very positive, very good, brings in a lot of bowlers, those guys never care. So that's one of the big issues is there's a big issue from the top all the way down. Just no one's on the same page. It's just people are a little too negative on everything because there's no cohesion. So yeah, long story short, yes, Jim, you are correct on that. The cohesion is an issue. Jason Wilson, as a rev dominant two-hander who bowls competitively, would it be good to pick up both Ion Maxes? As a rev dominant guy, no. I think the weaker stuff is going to be a little better for you. I think having at least one strong ball is good. Maybe just get the Ion Max. I wouldn't get both at the same time, though. See if you like the original. It'd be rough if you buy both and then you hate the core and the core doesn't match up for you. It's too strong, whatever it is, and then both balls suck. So that's something you want to avoid. Chucky, when is the Rocket AI coming out? I believe we're going to hear more about it probably Friday. We should hear more Friday. And then it sounds like, according to someone in TikTok, said that it's coming out May 1st. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't hear any of that stuff. But yeah, assuming that's when it is. Kevin, I agree with your take on bowling and what happened to the boom, but I think it's coming back. Oh, bowling is 100% coming back. 100% it is. Yeah. Yeah, bowling is very close. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I think bowling is doing a lot better. I mean, I'm noticing it personally in views. Other creators are noticing it. Just numbers in general. I mean, Reno this year, we're seeing the biggest number in a while. 11,000 teams for Reno is very, very tough to find. It doesn't happen very often, so that's a good sign. So people are getting more into bowling. And I've had so many people comment to me like, hey, I'm jumping back into bowling after 20 years off, 10 years off, 30 years off. I've never bowled before. Now I'm jumping in. So yes, bowling is going the right direction. It's just bowling as a whole likes to fight itself. We like to infight so much that causes people to step away from the sport. So I think if the infighting stops a little bit more and we stick together a lot more, like especially in leagues, if there's that annoying team and you notice they're harping on some new guys for sandbagging, like it's good to step into that and say, hey guys, calm down. It's just league. Who cares? I think that's one of the biggest issues right now. If we can get away from that, I've had a lot of people who said they've wanted to quit because of leagues themselves. There's certain leagues they join where the people are just toxic. So if we can try to calm that toxicity, then we're going to be good to go. I think that's really going to help out. Michael, does ZVL Bowling have any other hobbies? Yes, ZVL Bowling is a nerd. He loves playing video games. So what am I playing right now? I'm always a Call of Duty guy, but always playing some Pokemon games. So right now I'm finishing up Legends ZA. I finally have some time to finish Pokemon Legends ZA. I'm at basically the conclusion of the game. Very, very close to that. And then I have a few other games I've wanted to pick up for months that I haven't been able to. And Tyran with another $2 super chat. If you want cohesion, hammer. That's a good point. Yeah, and Justin, movie theaters and bowling alleys have been in decline for years. Streaming and bad films for theaters, Bolero for bowling. Yeah, I mean, yeah, and honestly, like there's so many free ways to watch like movies illegally. It's crazy. I never will condone that, by the way. But there are so many ways that you can just like, oh man, that awesome. I mean, Project Hail Mary came out. Sounds like it's an insanely good movie. I'm not really making a date to go see it because it's like, I can watch it in a month probably. It's not a big deal. I did that with the Wicked movies. It's like everybody loves them. I'm like, I can watch them in a little bit. I don't have to go out of my way for it, and I can watch it in my living room. So it makes sense. I get it. Sandbagging has always been an issue. Sandbagging is less of an issue than you'd think. The best thing to do though is bowl scratch stuff. And understand that there may be people who are sandbagging, and good tournament directors will cut the sandbagging. I know some incredible tournament directors here in Minnesota where they know the sandbaggers are common and they get cut. They don't get the handicap that they're supposed to. Yeah, just wait 6 weeks and it'll be streamed. Exactly, Don, exactly. That's kind of one of the issues. Let's see. Mike, any suggestions how to convince the folks that hate string pins? If the center doesn't convert, they'll die financially, then no bowling at all. So I've heard it from a couple of bowling centers where they do have people that threaten, but generally people don't leave if you put in string pins. And it's fair. I get it. It looks weird. It's tough. I am of the opinion that we need to put money as bowling into a better way to make machines that isn't string pin and isn't the really expensive free falls. There's got to be something else that we can do. It's odd that technology has advanced so far in the world that, hell, we have, I grew up on a farm. We have tractors that drive themselves. We have tractors that focus on GPS. I had this talk with my dad a couple of weeks ago where he's like, we were talking about string pin, and he's like, how has there not been an invention that has actually made it easy, where it's cheap, and you still hit that free fall portion? That's a really good question. I don't know how string pins is where we're at, and they're so inconsistent. It's like, it's weird. And string pins they're consistent, but they don't mimic free fall. I think 100 people out of 100 will say they prefer free fall. How have we not mimicked that? It's just odd. I I don't know. Are we putting education in the wrong places and research and development in the wrong places? Do we need actual engineers to step into the space? There's got to be something we can do. There's got to be something in the bowling world that we can do that is a machine, a setup that mimics free fall, but is cheap. Because right now, I'll be honest, what like a regular free fall machine is almost impossible to maintain. Parts are too expensive. Mechanics are too expensive. They're so easy to break. There's so much maintenance that's needed. They take so much power. It's tough. String pins is the easy option because it's a lot less money. You can save your center. I don't know. I wish there was a third option. We need a third option in bowling. And if that third option ever happens, I think it's going to do really, really well. And someone's going to get really, really rich doing it. I just don't know what it is. I am not an engineer in that space. I would love to expand my network a little more to find engineers who I could talk to about this. I could show them a bowling machine and say, how do we do this for cheap? And I feel like they could do it. But I don't know. I'm not sure. One of the big things with bowling, a lot of people at the top are not educated in the area that they should be. How many engineers do we have in the bowling world? It's less than you'd expect, unfortunately. There's got to be someone. Joaquin, can you message me? I'm a mechanical engineer. If you know of a way that you can, that would be a free fall machine, but not be as pricey or as intense or insane, let me know. I don't know what I can do with it. I don't think I'm big enough to actually present that to like an AMF or a Brunswick, but it'd be great. There's got to be something. Chucky, can you rate my arsenal? Yeah, if you shoot in the chat, I'll do what I can. Ooh, Venom Shock over an alert from Tyran, who's biased. There you go. Unheard, what's your favorite music artist? I just went to an Millennium concert last weekend. I think he's up there. He was my #1 on Spotify the last couple of years, mainly because it's really good music to listen to. Oh, you're new to the space, or you're new to the bowling space, Joaquin. Are you new to the bowling space or new to the mechanical engineer space? Which one? But I'd say Millennium, EDM artist. It's easy to listen to, like when I was doing work at my corporate job. But now we'll see. I got to listen a little more. Oh, new to the bowling space. Okay. Yeah, we'll, let's talk a little bit. Should be a DM, Joaquin. Evil Eye Alert and GTXs. See, Tyran, whoever making free fall replacement is going to make bank just on the patent. Shark Tank would jump on it. Probably. Folks are always going to complain about sandbagging. It's less, people sandbag less than you think. I think one of the problems, this is going to be a hot take. I think there's a larger issue in bowling in people thinking others are sandbagging. Yes, there is a sandbagging issue. It happens. It's very hard to manage. But I think there's also an issue of people who think others are sandbagging when they're not. Like, we have that problem. I've heard that problem a lot in leagues where new guy joins, has never bowled before. He starts bowling one-handed. It just doesn't match his game. 130 average. He switches over to two-handed for a while. He's like, man, this just feels better. Because some people, like, two-handed just fits. It clicks. And then they switch to two-handed and they crush it. They average 180 and their average skyrockets, and people in the league get furious because they were just averaging 130. Well, they switched entire styles, man. Like, I think that's another large issue. Ed Teller, curious to know the distance from where you stand in the approach to the foul line, such as front of dots, different in Reno. Seems South Point, Las Vegas, I stood the heel of the front dots. So, yeah, I stand between the two rows of dots. I think that's my place. And yeah, they have their approaches are just a touch different out there because they're so open and the ball returns so far back. So it's a little bit of a different view. 300 Dreaming, how does the V1 compare to the Tour? Weaker and a lot sharper down lane. Definitely. Let's see. Someone should ask AI how to do it. Might not be bad. How about the equivalent of a golf simulator? Holographic pins. I feel like a bowling simulator could happen as well. Like, it might be tougher, and I don't think the money is fully there, but I think you could have like just that little bit of an approach, and then you have a net that catches it because you can then track like revolutions and axis tilt and rotation. That shouldn't be too hard to see. If you can track a golf ball on it, you can track a bowling ball. I think that's an option too. I got to run. Hope to hear back from you. Deal, Joaquin. We'll talk later for sure. Biggie, outside question. What's the deal with the Hammer Toxic balls? They're overseas. That's all it is. The Black Widow Toxin and Toxin Pearl, they're overseas balls. Bowler's Mart just really likes to push them as like new Bowler's Mart exclusive. They're just an overseas piece is all it is. I didn't hear the best things about the green one. I'll be curious about the orange one, though. That's the green was a solid. K-Brew, I'm late. That's all good. Looking to get my dad a ball. He has a purple Quantum from the 90s. Thinking about getting him a Gremlin. I'm worried he'll hook it too much. I would go Gremlin Tour. Try like a Gremlin Tour, a Black Widow Tour, something in the middle like that might be better. Mikey, I didn't hear if you answered my question. My ball speed is 13 to 14. Oh, all good. I need a bigger pearl than the bubble gum. So I recommended a symmetrical pearl. I recommended some kind of middle of the road symmetrical pearl, I think would be best. Let's see. Bowling equals Wii bowling. Always, I mean, I think Wii bowling was one of the best things to happen to the bowling world. If we can make a ball, if there can be a video game that isn't realistic, like, you know, the PBA game just doesn't, it just doesn't have the aesthetics to it or the looks to get too popular. But Wii bowling was so good. It was basic. It was simple. If we can get more of those kinds of things, like extra mini games, we're set. Make Mario Party bowling mini games, I think, is a good thing. And Bowling Bad just bowled my best game ever. 268A. Congratulations, man. That is so cool. Congratulations. It's true. ZVL does make your scores increase by 30 pins. It's true. It's a fact. You guys heard it here. If you listen to the stream, if you buy a ZVL chamois from DH Labs, like, it's an instant 15 plus pins to your game. It's crazy how that works. It's wild. Jack Tran, I'm not grabbing another phase 2. Too pricey. What else is good? Hammerhead, super cheap. If you want something similar, Hammerhead, like I said, bowling.com, as long as you use the phrase in the comments ZVL sent you, you can get it for $127. $50 less. Oh, get off that radical page. That's so bright. $50 less than phase 2. Let's see. Mill, will there ever separate the one-hand from two-hand and have their own classes? No. I mean, one-handers are doing great right now. On tour, like, there isn't really, if there's ever a point where the top 10 guys on tour are two-handers, or there's like 20% of people on tour are one-handers, that's when I think you'll see the questions get raised. But no, not for a while. There's pros and cons to both. Two-handers can do a lot of things one-handers can't, but it also goes the other way. We can make our angles a lot more steep with our thumb compared to what a two-hander can. We can increase our speed in an easier way. Our bodies break down a lot slower than a two-hander's body, because it just takes more out of you if you try to let's see. Oh boy, I'm going to get a call after this and I'm hyped. I should actually tell them I'm coming. Like 40, still streaming. Oh boy. That's going to be a fun call from another bowling person. Love it. I lost my full train of thought. Sorry, I felt my phone go off and I always have to check it in case it's anything serious. We're going to keep going. I forgot what I was saying. Let's see. Ed Teller, I believe EJ will not make the cut this week. Oh, is he still top 44? Ah, shoot. That's unfortunate. I would have loved for him to stay on top that much. That'd been cool. Let's see. Stephen New, people thought I was sandbagging. I went from 170 to 200 in a year, and tournaments still used 170. So that's the tournament's issue. So if you are that much higher, I mean, it's a 10-pin rule. There's supposed to be a 10-pin rule where if you're averaging, 200 like that, your average should then be 200 into a tournament. I wish there was a way that we had more updated averages that were online. That's where if we could like incorporate League Secretary to USBC in some way and merge them, boom, good to go. We just need something better than League Secretary with less ads. I don't know what that is, but there's got to be a better way. I feel like they could have less ads on League Secretary and they would still be fine. I don't think they use Google's AdSense is my guess. And that's what you're supposed to use for ads to make money, but also not make it disgusting. Is there any person, Marino, that gives great reviews? Oh, absolutely there are. Yeah, there's a lot of really good ball reviewers out there. There aren't many that like can cover everything. There's only like 2 people in the world who cover every bowling ball. But overall, like Josh Tajiri, I think is the #1 Storm guy for bowling ball reviews. He's incredible. I think Luke Rosdahl is incredible at what he does. He's very blunt and honest about his reviews. Charles from the Hype does a good job. His stuff is always very positive. No matter what he's throwing, he doesn't really say any bad stuff about the balls. Hickland is the same way. Hickland's is probably the most controlled environment of everybody because he's an engineer, he's a nerd. So he wants to make everything he wants to eliminate as many variables as possible, which is what you need to do in bowling. So he tries to do that a lot more. He doesn't do as many comparisons as a lot of the other guys, but there's a lot of guys who do good reviews. Now, there are paid reviews, sponsored reviews that are not shown to be sponsored, which is an issue. But overall, there's a lot of good reviewers out there. William Fraser, do you like the Steel Forge? Same cover as the Hysteria, but a strong symmetrical core. Yeah, the Hysteria is good, or the Steel Forge is really good. Absolutely. Yeah, Tyran, exactly. Perfect. League Secretary needs an update. League Secretary needs a revival more than anything. Absolutely it does. Grandmaster Yoda, how long do you think the Trainwreck Apex Jackal will last? I bet a year. I'd give it till 2027. Michael, I watched someone that's not very good shoot 250, having like 8 in a row just because the phase 2 matched the lane. Oh yeah, there's a lot of situations. You'll notice it at short form tournaments. Like if you have a 3-game tournament, usually it's not who's the best bowler, it's whose ball matches up best. Sometimes it's on accident. Sometimes a guy rolls in with 2 bowling balls and one of those balls matches up just perfectly with the condition that's out, and boom, good to go, and he is crushing it then. That can happen. It's that transition that always hits people. So I always like the longer tournaments. The more games you can put into a tournament, the better the differentiation is between the good bowlers and the great bowlers. All right, I got to catch up. I am currently 30 minutes behind. Wow. Reminds me of the black ice in that way for the kinetic. Okay, a better option for the burn. Love that. KO, debating Storm Concept or the Bionic. I like the look of the Concept, but the Bionic has won 3 events. If you're a house shot guy, get the Bionic. If you're a tournament guy, the Concept might not be bad. The lefties and righties have united. Tyran, Next Factor is a borderline cheat code. Next Factor is good. I'm excited to try it a little more this weekend. Michael, my teammate got the Evil Eye. He has done recently well with it. It's a good ball. It's a good ball. Peter Dimer said the same thing. I bowl and I sub with anyone. Dylan, how does he not have YouTube chat up? No, I do. I have everything up. I'm just very behind because there's a lot of comments. There's a lot of comments. Let's see. Kevin, I agree with your take on bowling, what's happened to the boom, but I think it's coming back. Oh, yeah, we hit that one. Absolutely. Lindy, hey, what's going on, Lindy? Good to see you. What I love about bowling is I can share it with my son, even though he lives in a different state. Lane Talk is awesome. Oh, Lane Talk is one of the coolest things for that. I love that you can see scores from all over the place. I think it's really cool. Don. Oh, I didn't hear that, Don. Talking about the keyboard warrior thing. I didn't watch it. But wow. I'm guessing she meant something different is my guess. I know her pretty well at this point. She's a really good person. Very blunt about a lot of things. And has had a lot on her plate lately, I know. So I'm guessing that's what's going on. Probably an oopsie. Amazing Robin, the strategy looks so good, but I already have the street rally. Yeah, don't get it. The street rally is another one where if you have it, you don't need the strategy. Yeah, they're a little too close. Venom Hysteria's 2025 Ball of the Year. That already happened, brother. We already had the 2025 Ball of the Year. Okay. Understandable, Don. KO, I'm a journalism student who has written about bowling before. What story or storylines do you wish had more news coverage? Ooh. That's a good question. What do you guys think? What are some stories in bowling that need more coverage? Man, that's a good question. That's a really good question. What deserves more coverage in bowling? What are your thoughts? What storylines need to be promoted more? I would say, I always think professional bowling deserves it. I just wish professional bowling did a better job of promoting themselves in a lot of ways. Right now, they're finally on the content train, which is good. Like PBA is posting on every platform. They were like 10 years behind on it, but I love that they're doing it. I wish they had more of a YouTube emphasis and a Facebook emphasis. I don't know what deserves more news coverage. I could be selfish and say the social media side, the content creation side of bowling. I would say the rise of casual bowling. Bowlers, you know, the ones who don't bowl in leagues, but bowl weekly. There are more guys than you know of that bowl regularly once a week on a bargain night, but they don't bowl league. They just bowl. I think that's a really cool story that I'm trying to look into more myself. Kelky, what do I add to my physics blackout in phase 2? Yeah, phase 2 Pearl is a good option. I like that a lot. Michael, bowling just had a big hit with COVID. Oh, 100%. I think COVID was one of the worst things. Like, bowling got hit so hard by COVID because at that time, what people did is bowling was going this way. COVID hits and it's down. But what goes the other way is golf. Golf does this in COVID. I will argue that COVID saved golf in a lot of ways. With Tiger Woods saved golf in the 2000s. Like, he is such a big reason that golf got big again. With him going away, then golf started doing this. Like, how many people know who Scotty Scheffler is? Very, very few. How many people know who Tiger Woods is? Everybody. He's one of the biggest names in sports still, and he hasn't been competitively golfing for so long. Now he just gets in car crashes. So with COVID, golf was doing this, and then it saw that because you were outside, you were able to do it. They were open. They were a form of entertainment that was open that got you out of your house. A lot of really good things. Tyran, here's a $20 super chat. I'll get back to the COVID thing in a sec. Stories that need more coverage. Content creators that have a genuine love of the sport, interview and perspective pieces combined with dragging some of the pros out into perspectives and the rise of casual bowling. I like that a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people who love bowling, and there's a lot of people who are doing a lot for the sport that you don't know about. There's a lot of local people that are making sports or making bowling very big. They're growing it in little ways. And if a lot of people grow it in little ways, it just keeps getting bigger. That's why you're seeing college bowling do well. There's a lot of college coaches out there who are really growing their programs. Tub, what do you mean no one knows him? Oh, dude, nobody knows who Scotty Scheffler is if you're not a big golf fan. You need to be a golf. Oh, it's not the craziest statement of the decade. No. If you're not a bowling or not a golf fan, you probably haven't heard that name before. And if you have heard his name, the only reason is because he got arrested before that event last year or 2 years ago, whenever that was. A lot of regular, like, people who aren't big golfers don't know who he is. Yes, 100%. Absolutely. Yeah, he's the best golfer in the world, and people don't really know much about him. Or Happy Gilmore 2. Or Happy Gilmore 2 is the other reason. I never watched that yet. I have yet to see that. I was going to watch it on the plane, but I got into the Tiger Woods documentary. That thing was awesome, by the way. Really well done. It was really cool to see. I didn't know much about Tiger in the early 2000s because I was 5 years old. So it was really cool to see. But no, 100%. I mean, let's see. Yeah, here, Michael D'Amelio can confirm. Never heard a golfer guy. Jay Bird. Who is Scotty? There you go. First time hearing that guy's name from Amazing Robin. He's just not a guy who gets a lot of views. He's not Tiger. It's impossible to be Tiger, though. It's impossible to have that kind of legacy. Can I join this live to debate? No, I mean, there's nothing to debate. It's just it's like a hear thing. Like, yeah, you can argue how great he is. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just arguing casual people don't really know who he is. If you're around golfers, yes, they love him, but that's it. I didn't think we'd get into a Scotty Scheffler debate today. That's awesome. No Face. I can't wait for more info about the storm monsoon. It's looking good, man. That ball's looking good. Like, if that ball is as good as it looks so far, I think 2026 will be the best year we've had for bowling balls in a while. 2025 was already stellar from every brand. And this year's really good as well. It's crazy. It's awesome. I love the competition between companies. It's doing so well for the space. Justin, wish there was something to do in Reno because the stadium is nice. Yeah, if you are going to Reno, I highly recommend a minor league baseball game. They're really fun to watch. They're really cool if you're a baseball fan. It's a gorgeous stadium. I think they're called the Aces, the Reno Aces, of course, because cards and gambling and all that. Otherwise, there's a couple other things to do, but yeah, there isn't a whole lot. I'd recommend Googling it, what to do in Reno. You'll have to get through, like, everyone will say, go to Lake Tahoe. That's like 2 hours away. But otherwise, there's going to be a few other things you can do. Johnny, Storylines in bowling. Confused bowling communities and leagues, such as the UBA. Oh, confined. Sorry, not confused. Not confused, confined. Oh, I do read at least a 3rd grade level, guys. I promise. I promise you I can read once in a while. Oh God. Yes, confined bowling communities and leagues. Yeah, I know. I mean, I even know very little about the UBA. I know little about a lot of those groups. Michael, yeah, I know who Tiger is. My dad used to watch when I was a kid. There you go. DeChambeau has a great personality. Yeah, DeChambeau's all over. I would argue DeChambeau is a more common name than Scheffler. Why? DeChambeau's never really won that much, but he was hitting the longest drives, and he has a YouTube. What does his YouTube have right now? I don't even know. YouTube. Oh God, spell YouTube right. DeChambeau. Is he at? He's at 2.6 million. That's insane. 200 videos. I have more videos. Oh, you can be verified on YouTube. That's kind of cool. I hit a little white ball around. God. Yeah, 2 million views on every single video. It's absurd. So people know him a lot more. Justin, Resident Evil 9. What about Resident Evil 9? I haven't played any Resident Evils. Freak show. Back after 8 years, 2 grandkids born, and then a sciatic nerve issue that I'm unable to sit down. I'm so sorry for that. That's really unfortunate, but I'm glad you're back. I'm glad everything's okay now. As far as movies go, yeah, we hit that. Tyran, Project Hail Mary is worth seeing just for the sound. I know, that's the one reason. I was told it's the Interstellar of the 2020s. Michael, every bowling alley I've ever went to has a Korean team of nothing but sandbaggers. I mean, a little racist, but if tournament directors are good tournament directors, they will know who are the typical sandbaggers in a group. It's common. There are sandbaggers. There's going to be. People want to try making money. It's boring. That is the most boring way you can bowl. I make fun of sandbaggers, like if they're actually true, like true sandbaggers. Like, it just sounds so lame. Imagine, like, I'm going to bowl a 36-week season, and I am going to miss every spare, and I'm going to average 180. What's the fun of that? You're not going for honor scores. You're not going for big score. Like, what? Why would I pay $600 for the season just to average, like, be low and just do the same thing that's bad every week? It just sounds boring. Amazing Robin, first USBC Open coming up. What should I expect different than my handicap beer league? There's a lot. Well, there actually is a similar amount of beer. Surprisingly, Nationals makes a lot of money on alcohol sales. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it when I first went. My first year, they had so much booze being passed around. It was crazy. Like, people treat it like a beer league, which is good for them, you know, fair. A lot of bowlers drink, so whatever. They make a lot of money on it, so good for the bowling stadium as well. It's a win-win. But what you should expect is it feels very, like, grandiose when you go. You have a waiting room that everybody chills in, where you check in your bowling balls, where they barely check anything, but they check them in. They make sure you don't have 8, and they make sure you don't have an old purple hammer, or this year, any purple hammers that aren't the 78 one. They have the bracket station. They do a lot of talking, like some announcing, some congratulating, some explaining of what's going on. They have you walk out to a walk-up song, and they had an announcer last year, which was sick. Announcer was awesome. He had a full, true, like, WWE announcer voice. Introducing the bowler. It was awesome. It was super cool. But it feels very intense. You get nervous walking up, because I'm trying to remember how Reno is. Baton Rouge last year, we all came from one way and we split across the entire building. Vegas, you walk across all of the lanes to get to yours. What is Reno? Where is Reno at? Oh, I think it's on the right. No, is it on the right? Yes, it's on the, oh no, it's down the pathway. There's like a pathway that you all take, and then you split off to your lanes. It's very cool. So be ready for that. Yeah, Reno, you split. Thank you, Brad. Yep, and Duesenberry. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's what you get when you go to Reno. It feels so grandiose. It's very cool. SM, How do you stay calm in big moments? About to bowl for team league championship tomorrow in Southeast Minnesota. Hey, that's close to me. Good luck, man. Good luck on that one. Big one is breathe. Treat it like another night. Just treat it like another night is the big one. Try to stay calm. Don't imagine like, ooh, if I miss this, we might lose. Keep those thoughts out of your head as far as possible. Treat it like another day. Treat it like another set of league. Do the same games. Do the same walk-up. Do the same practice. Do everything you've been doing. It's just bowling. It hasn't changed. It's all good. That's what a lot of pros say, like when they're playing in the Super Bowl, World Series, whatever it may be. Just go through the same motions you've been doing all year long, and it'll feel okay. Jason Fox, appreciate your content. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it. Justin, Hail Mary was great in IMAX. Oh, that sounds sick. Most Wanted Guru, I have a Black Widow 2.0 solid, trying to get something strong, solid, up to date. I'm a very high rev, high speed. If you like your 2.0, get the 3.0 Dynasty. I think is a good option. But if that's too strong, you think, if that 2.0 was a little too strong for you, I'd go down to like an Alert from Brunswick would be a good option. Or Hammerhead if you want a hammer ball. Jay Tesla, will you offer tips for two-handers for $25 Patreon? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, if you join that, and I will ask for you to send me videos, I'll have a way to do it. Yeah, and then I'll be able to give you tips and tricks. It'll be a true like coaching 10 to 15 minute coaching session where unfortunately we won't be on a live call, but we'll be able to help out. Mike in Brazil is a problem the industry wants to fix. Oh yeah. I mean, you'll hear the biggest thing. For string pin. I think so. I think it is at this point. I don't know about AMF or Brunswick. I think they're getting enough service so they don't care, but I think the entire industry as a whole wants something good. I think people were just surprised like, oh, that's our option, I guess, when they saw string pin. By hand. There you go. Yes, let's pay people. Some type of magnet system. That one, I always thought that system. Don, I averaged 210 in league, but 235 in tournaments. I want to know what tournaments you're bowling. Man, you are whacking them. And most people, you always have to remember, bowl better at tournaments when they focus more. A lot of leagues, people aren't focusing that hard. They're drinking, so their scores go down as the night goes on. They're doing other things besides drinking, possibly as well. So yeah, tournaments, people are like locked in. That either makes them really good or really, really bad. I'm an amateur Wii bowler. Bro, I had a friend back in high school and middle school who he would average like 270 in Wii bowling. He had his exact motion down with the Wiimote where he had, I think it was 60 plus 300s at one point. Like he was a middle schooler or an early high schooler at the point. Like he didn't have anything else to do. Like he was just popping off 300s on Wii bowling. And I don't think he had many video games. I think his parents bought a Wii and that was it. They didn't really buy many games. So all he really had was Wii bowling. And so he just crushed it. All right, I will be scrolling just a little bit to try to catch up because I'm so far behind on comments. Let's see. Kevin Koch, out of the 6-ball categories, which is best to have multiple bowling balls in? I personally, because of my style, I like having more in medium smooth. Other people, it depends on your style. If you're more rev dominant, you might like having more weak balls. If you're speed dominant, you might like having more strong balls. What is a good replacement for the gem? That's an SPI ball. Ion Max. Very, very close. Let's see. William, coming from disc golf, every rated round is on your PDGA profile, and every tournament and league is found on the same website. Oh, yeah, we need that one place, and we kind of have it, but we only update it once a year is the problem with USBC right now. So your average only gets submitted at the end of the season. That's the biggest issue in the sport. I wish it was more often. I wish it was a couple times a year, and I wish there was an automated way to do it. I think bowling still lives in the prehistoric age in some ways for league bowling. Like a lot of the things we do, like, you know, those stupid like registration sheets for your USBC membership. I found out this year, those are online. Nobody uses the online version though. They all still use the paper, but it's been online for like a year now. So we're slowly getting there. But we're just way behind. So we just need to update our processes. If we had a way where if you could use Lane Talk or we could have some integration with bowling centers where you grab that score and it immediately ties to your name and gets put into an average, That would be awesome. And then you could have like, hey, this is your average as of last week versus this is your average from last year. So that would be nice. William, we hit. Oh, will there be more video coverage of local and regionals? Yes, there will. 100% there will be. Yeah, I'll be having a lot more videos of recaps and previews of tournaments, a lot more clips, a lot more live streams. I want to get into the vlog game. My camera is good, but I'm a little worried it's not great. It's not going to be as good as what Brad and Kyle have, Darren has, Packy has. Mine's a lot cheaper. It's still 4K, but it's going to look worse than those guys. So I do want to get into vlogging. I just have never vlogged before. So that's the tough thing. I want to get into it, though. I really want to get into that side of the game. Juicy Jake, I was the guy on TikTok that Belmo gave the rocket to. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. What do you think it's worth? It won't be worth a crazy amount if you try to sell it, but I think it's a cool thing to have. I think it's awesome that he signed it and everything, but I don't think you'll be able to sell it for much. I don't think Storm would appreciate you selling it right now anyway. I'm kind of surprised he gave that away. That's still crazy. Yeah, so anyone who doesn't know, Belmo in the USA versus the World gave away his Rocket AI to Juicy Jakes, who's in YouTube chat right now, who's also on TikTok. And he has a picture of it. It's super cool, but very surprising. Very surprising. Let's see. Did I miss anything? Bourbon Wise Guy on Facebook. Why can't they promote the bowling balls with the current colors? It could draw people in. I wish yeah, that goes into my marketing disappointments in the bowling world. I think we're really bad at marketing ourselves and marketing our products. I think on accident, I sell more bowling balls than a lot of the marketing does in bowling. And I'm not trying to sell bowling balls. I'm just trying to inform. We're just not good in the marketing side, which is unfortunate. Let's see. KO. My most recent story was about Milwaukee with their alleys closing. There's no place for big tournaments in the city that hosted the USBC. 48 lanes are the biggest alleys in the Milwaukee area. That's really tough. That's a very tough situation. Really big bowling centers are not very common anymore, which sucks. What do we need the centers to do to get those casual bowlers to join leagues? That's something bowling doesn't focus on. Bowling refuses to try to bring casual guys into a full-time league. And I think the league structure is the issue. Hey, the Mac, thank you for the sub. I think we're too focused on the 36-week seasons and the 5-person leagues. I would love to see more 3-person leagues, 12 weeks long. I think that would be the money spot for a lot of these. Offer cheaper leagues, offer cheaper prices, quicker, more fun setups, maybe not just head-to-head every week, have some fun things thrown in there. And I think that would really help get guys into the sport. So story time, my local center, they have something called the Rum Bucket League, like RUM, like rum, like Jack Sparrow's favorite thing. What it is, you pay, I don't know how much money it was, 20 bucks, 25 bucks, whatever it was per week. What you did is you got your 3 games of bowling, and then you got an appetizer for the table for your league team, you know, wings, you could get a pizza, you could get fries, whatever it may be, you get a choice. And then you also got a pitcher of alcohol. It was either a pitcher or it was 1 drink each or something like that. And it was actually like you saved money on it, but it was always full. After about a season, they were packing that league up. It was awesome. A lot of brand new people. Then one year they gave everybody a ball with their entry fee, and we drilled 70 bowling balls just for those leagues. It was nuts. I think it was 50 to 70. It was a lot. I don't remember the exact number, but it got so many new people into the game of bowling. It was awesome. It was really, really cool. Like, my association was dead at that point. We had 2 leagues and that was it. And now it's slowly getting back up because of some work of a couple people making more fun leagues, bringing those casuals into the competitive side, but not too competitive. Let's see. Yep. Everyone hasn't heard of Scotty. That's awesome. Let's see. Michael, you know who Tiger, Johnny, we hit. Jake Bosma, I think you forgot C300 existed when you say every brand was great. I guess the Rally and Pulse were decent, but I don't know. They don't exist anymore. True. Yeah, they are gone. Yeah, but no, I mean, C300 was good. They had some good stuff. They had some all right stuff. Dre, I'm a 2-handed bowler. Can you let me know if this is a good 3-ball lineup? Concept, Jackal, Black Widow Dynasty. I would. Hey, Chucky, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I think it's a lot of solid. I think a pearl ball would be great in there next. And H's, congrats on being a full-time creator. Thank you so much, H's. Really appreciate it. Thank you. It's been an awesome week so far. It'll be good. Jaybird, are these golf guys? Yeah, they are. Yep. And Lindy, if you like history and going to Reno, Virginia City, Old Town, cool shops. Oh, I've never heard of that area. I'll check it out. Mike, we need a video of Zach's fiance teaching him how to read. That's probably a necessity. Is she home yet? I don't think she's home yet. Ooh, but she's asking me for Jimmy John's or Jersey Mike's. Jersey Mike's. Yeah, we got to go Jersey Mike's. God, that's awesome. I hear you've been making some move. Oh, whoa. Ladies and gentlemen. We might have a Mike Flanagan sighting. Holy cow. He's famous. He's on HBO. Isn't it? It's so cool. Sorry, this is gonna be a tangent. I have so many comments to go through. This is gonna go long. I apologize. Isn't it so cool how we have an HBO show about bowling, and it's a lot of guys who you can see very easily. Like, God, who was the one? There was one guy who was on the show who I was like, holy cow, I've talked to him before. This is insane. Like, I'm one step from stardom. No, not actually. Man, who was it? I forget who he was on. He was on it. Dang, whatever. Either way, it's really cool to see. Sorry, let's keep going. I got to get through a couple more comments. I'm already behind, and I'm supposed to give a call to somebody after this. I'm freaking out, man. Unheard, tell my team to reinforce site because they suck. Unheard Gaming's team, reinforce site. Jeez, come on, guys. Marino, what about the impact on your teammates by these sandbaggers, by these leagues? What about the impact on your teammates by these sandbaggers, by these leagues? Well, the problem is league doesn't have much money. So winning and losing doesn't mean a ton in a lot of leagues. But no, that's something that the league secretary should be aware of. And that's where I always would love to have good league secretaries. They're very important. All right, let's see. We're going to get through a couple more, and then I do have to go for this business call. Let me see where we're at. Don't forget the raffle at Nats. The raffle. They have a raffle? Oh, yeah, they do a raffle beforehand now. That's actually a cool thing. I like that they do that. And Chucky with another $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. You didn't have to give another $5 for the Arsenal, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Optimum Idol, Zero Mercy, Bionic, Typhoon, Ion Max Pearl, and a metallic mix. What could I change? Optimum Idol, Zero Mercy, Bionic, Typhoon. I like that Arsenal a lot, man. The only thing would be a ball between the Ion Max Pearl and the Typhoon. Unless that Bionic kind of fits there for you, I like it a lot. I really like that. Jay Wilson, software guys should be able to make an app for bowling. So I've had a lot of people send me applications they're in the process of for bowling, and they're really cool. I think there's a lot of really cool ones that deserve some publicity, and I want to get a list for you guys soon of some of the best bowling apps. There's a couple of guys who have directly sent them to me, so I need to compile them a little more and ask them a little more. There's one of them that I just saw. I think he might be hanging out already too. It was an app with a 3,000 bowling ball database. 3,000 bowling balls, and it has all the stats on every ball. It was so cool. I think there's a lot of cool apps coming. I mean, we've talked about Lane Tracks before. They're an AI bowling tracking app where it shows your rev rate and your speed and all that, and it's learning on itself. There's a lot of really cool things coming in the bowling world, I think. I think a lot of the software developers are starting to get into the game more. All right, let's see. John, I think a vacation league is a good way to go. Casual bowlers involved in league bowling. Absolutely. I think the short leagues are the play. We have a pro shop league, so instead of an entry-level ball, you choose anything the pro shop sells. That's a good idea. I love those leagues. Have a ball leagues are coming soon. Freak Show said Jersey Mike's. I respect it. That's what I went with. Polito, how long do bowling balls last? 2-ish years. A couple 100 games is usually what I say. What do you think of the Deviate Hater Pearl? It's good. It's super quick when it hits the spot. Asymmetrical Pearl is just super angular. Jerry, how do I become a pro or semi-pro? So Jerry, I actually have a video on YouTube of how to become a pro in bowling. I'd recommend that. I go through all the steps and actually like step by step what you need to do to become a professional in bowling. Hey, Bowling Brian, what's going on? We'll listen to the whole thing afterwards. It was a fun show today. It was a very fun show today, so be ready for that. And Bowling is a sport that the athlete fan distance is so small. There's no wall separating. Most people can go to a PBA event and meet and take photos. Oh yeah, you can meet any bowler you want there. And the best part is a lot of bowlers are just dudes. Like, they're not anything, you know, special or grandiose. Oh boy. It's nothing special or grandiose. So like the people aren't, there no, who would be a good one here? Like, it's not a Tom Brady who, you know, is wearing Rolex that's $75,000 or things like that. Like, these are just guys, so they're easy to talk to. A lot of them are actually pretty quiet, so you usually talk more than they do at times, so it's good. It's a very good thing. I use LaneTracks every session. It's great. LaneTracks is an awesome app. And Mac, do you think NCAA men's bowling will ever be a thing? I don't, unfortunately. NCAA needs a sport to drop, and I don't think any sport is going to drop anytime soon. JR, I think those guys are special. Well, yeah, your favorite just broke a scoring record. Of course you think those guys are special. No, but luckily they're very approachable guys, is what I'm trying to say with it, is almost every pro is a very approachable human being. And while it's best, you know, not to talk to them during competition because they're a professional athlete, afterwards is always a good time. 10-pin toolkit, another awesome app. I would argue one of the best apps in bowling. They're awesome and dirt cheap. Isn't it like $2 for the year or something? It's weirdly cheap, but it's awesome. I love 10-pin toolkit is a really good app for like education as well. Like, not like, it doesn't give you articles and videos on how to get better, but it helps educate you on layouts and things like that, and bowling balls, where they fit, stuff like that. All right. It is 8:12 already, so I am going to call it on that. Before and after is good for sure. Exactly, JR. I am going to call it on that for today. So we went a little bit long today, but we will be live again next Monday. And we're going to shoot for 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to have 2 streams every single week. What can you expect in the next couple of days? Brunswick Bowling Arsenal tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. You're going to see the YouTube video. All the short form stuff you're going to see at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time about what is the best 6-ball arsenal from Brunswick. 2 bowling balls in each category. There's actually 2, count them, 2 radical balls on this week's, and 0 deviate balls. No, never mind. 1 deviate ball is on the list as well. It's not just Brunswick stuff. It's all the brands. So it's going to be really cool. Sunday, we're going to have our performance review go live for the end of 2025 bowling balls. We have a lot of videos on bowling a tournament this weekend, so we'll have a lot of recaps and previews and clips on that. I got a lot of clips of my Gremlin Tour X yesterday that we're going to be posting on the short form stuff, so a lot of cool stuff coming. Like I said, the Patreon is live. I want to give a big thank you to all of my sponsors who are down below in the description. You have a couple of them on screen right now. You have G Fuel and Bowling.com up there. If you buy anything from Bowling.com, my personal favorite place to buy stuff online for bowling stuff, say ZVL sent you in the comments. G Fuel, make sure you use code ZVL Bowling. I believe it's still 30% off on their site. Turbo, make sure to go check them out. The best products in bowling for accessories, finger grips, thumb sleeves, everything and anything. Gamer Grip, by the way, a video of that coming soon. I think a lot of people would love some Gamer Grip in their life. Otherwise, we have a lot of other sponsors. Apparel EFX, 10% off with code ZVL at checkout. We have RecruitUS, our brand new sponsor of the channel. We're going to have a lot with them coming soon. If you are a high schooler, or you know someone who's a high schooler who wants to get recruited in bowling, go check out recruitus.net. They're going to have some awesome stuff. We have Spareware as one of our sponsors, ZVL Bowling, for 10% off at checkout. For on Spareware, they have some awesome apparel and merch. That's fantastic. They're growing day by day, which is awesome. A lot of really cool companies, a lot of really cool things. There's probably a few that we're missing in there as well. So I want to thank you guys all so much for hanging in today. I really appreciate it. TikTok, we're going to say goodbye to you first. TikTok, thank you so much for everything today. Really appreciate it. Expect a lot of fun videos coming in the next couple of days. I will see you all on the next one. Whew, I'm out of breath after that. All right, then all the long form stuff. Thank you guys so much. I have Gamer Grip from an old Scuff controller bundle I bought. Dude, it's great. I know. I never used it on my Scuffs. I don't have a Scuff right now. I have one of the Sony the DualSense Edge. I have the Control Freak stuff on it. And a Control Freak on the right thumbstick. but I never used Gamer Grip. I love it for bowling. It's awesome for bowling. But we are going to call it on that, guys. I want to thank you guys all so much for hopping in today. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you all then next Monday for our next live stream at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. Otherwise, we have a video coming tomorrow. Thank you, guys.